And diarrhea? Of course you do. Because everyone knows the Pepto song. But did you know that Pepto also comes in convenient and delightful solid forms?
Pepto has very fast melts, cherry chewables, liquid caps that make relief easy.
Pepto makes relief on the go easy. So when you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
Now 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Nothing much going on with our weather as the atmosphere remains all locked up. We're kind of under a little high pressure system. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. 88 should do it for the high. Tonight, the full harvest moon rising with the setting sun. Clear skies 62. Wednesday, sunny and 88. Thursday and Friday, sunshine and temperatures near 90 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-699-1059. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-699-1059. That's 800-699-1059.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This weekend, September 20th, 21st, and 22nd, it's the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show at the Arnold Eagles Hall in Arnold, Missouri. Browse tables of firearms, ammo, knives, books, and military items. Buy, sell, or trade. Admission's only $10. Kids under 12 free with a paid adult, and parking is free. Don't miss the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show this weekend at the Arnold Eagles on 1725 Jeffco Boulevard. For complete information, visit MissouriArms.com. The Missouri Arms Collectors Association is a not-for-profit NRA-affiliated club.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do. So great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, welcome to the Annie Fry Show. We're pretty sure I think we feel good about this. Do you feel good about this?
I can hear you. I think we're on. I think we're working.
If we have any luck, Ryan's microphone is just faulty.
I'll just do this.
Does it work?
You think so?
Oh,
yeah.
The whole gang is here. We are broadcasting from an auxiliary studio. I'm just going to give you a little inside information here. We are in the corner of KMOX's area. We had to sneak in here.
Yeah, don't tell them.
Here. Yeah, it's a secret. So we're working on some really great upgrades technically for the KFDK studio. We're the first show to broadcast over here, right?
Yep. Yes.
So for a couple of days, we're going to be doing this. So we don't really know what's going to happen next. So you can tune in and listen to the mayhem. If from here on out, if we do our jobs correctly, you will not even notice anymore past now. So Ryan's in here, Brad's in here, got the whole gang here, and we will continue on. So as we move through this, if there's a technical thing here or there, just know that we are working very hard to make a nice new kind of setup for us behind the scenes in our old studio. And stay tuned and cheer us along, especially Brad, because Brad's got the biggest ask. Ryan, you're just kind of the emotional support. Who was it that called Tim Walz the emotional support Midwesterner on our show in an interview? I can't remember who it was. Somebody was talking about
it. It was either DeRoy or Concha.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I can be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm that to a lot of people. Like when I was walking through the KMOX newsroom here to get into this room, I made eye contact with somebody and we nodded at each other.
How did it go?
It was Frank Ladd,
That's
so
good.
we had a history.
Super easy.
So
one of the original producers of the Annie Fry Show.
Yeah.
That works.
So it worked out well.
So we're having an exciting but a little stressful day when things are changed, but everything is going great so far. You know who's not having a good day today, Ryan Wiggins?
Is it Kamala Harris?
Probably also, but I was thinking more along the lines of Sean Puff Daddy P.
Oh,
Diddy,
yeah. Not
Puffy.
always in the range of things that we talk about, but definitely the headline news of the day.
I am interested in what is going to happen out of this. I am curious if it's going to materialize to as big of a story as it seems to be. The indictment today, oh my gosh. The things that came out of this indictment are outrageous. And it seems as though it's something that I don't like to dig into entertainment news too much. I don't like to overburden people listening to the show who are interested in the election, who are interested in, the country being at stake. But what we are finding out from this indictment that was sealed last night, it was unsealed today, is it's really unbelievable. Fox News reports that authorities charged Sean Diddy Combs, which I think is our first indication that we have a confirmation on what we're calling him. I can't take a guy who's on trial for the things that he's been charged with right now and call him Diddy.
Okay. Okay, so Sean Diddy Combs.
Can we call him Sean Combs?
No.
Why?
You have to say Diddy.
I don't think I have to do anything that creep demands.
No. He's not demanding it, but we have to understand who we're talking about. Because if I just hear Sean Combs, I'm not sure that I know exactly who that is. But if I hear Diddy or P. Diddy, then, I kind of get the sense of who that is.
So,
without thinking too much about it.
It says authorities charged Sean Diddy Combs with sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and more in an indictment featuring explosive and disturbing allegations against the rapper. Combs was arrested Monday by federal agents. Based on a sealed indictment, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York confirmed the rapper was charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution in the indictment that was unsealed today. Let's see here. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said during a press conference Tuesday, quote, "Now I want to be clear about two things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that." He went on to say, a year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed the key to the New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. He added, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and do it quickly. Ryan, it was like maybe a month ago, we asked the question, which I kind of want to ask again because it was such a fun one to talk about. Which story would you like to know the full story about? And one of them was Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was the one that I ultimately ended up voting for. The other one was like the whole story of COVID. One of them was the Trump assassination attempt.
Yeah.
Now we can add
Which
part
one?
2.
Right.
And then the fourth one was the 2020 election. And we are finding out from President Trump, he after that came out and said he was going to put RFK Jr. in charge of a commission on assassinations or assassination attempts. We are now finding out that I really don't believe that Sean Combs is going to be indicted for these types of things that involved what I anticipate to be the elite of the elite in Hollywood. Music, acting, athletes, famous people. If you're famous, if you were going to be famous, he famously took basically possession of Justin Bieber and tried to usher him in, like, I'm going to take care of you.
Usher him in. Very good.
Usher him in. I just feel like we're on the precipice of potentially unearthing something that is coming out of Hollywood that could reshape the future of how we see a majority of the people who we've been paying millions and millions and millions of dollars to entertain us.
I hope that that's true. The reason why this does make me a little bit optimistic is because it looks like, and I'm waiting because I'll probably be wrong here, because every time Merrick Garland speaks or the DOJ is out in front of something, you end up finding later that there was some sort of political angle to it. This looks like the type of thing that the FBI, our justice system, should be going after, has nothing to do with politics, although if it does kind of break open a bigger shell, it could. But that is the optimistic view of what is happening with Sean Diddy Combs. I am going to use Diddy.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, again, if you're just
creepy.
tuning in, people go, oh, yeah, Diddy. I understand Diddy. Because Sean Combs just sounds like some random guy from Wisconsin. But going after him is the right thing to do. If he has been sex trafficking, if he has been breaking all these laws that you just listed from that article, this is this kind of stuff that you go, yeah, America doesn't allow that. Our justice system is fair and righteous, and it goes after these creeps. Good. If it breaks something bigger, even better.
Here's former FBI agent Nicole Parker. She was on Fox News, and she was reacting to...
So first of all, Harris, these investigations, in my opinion, are the most serious and the darkest that you will conduct as a law enforcement officer. And that is exactly what you heard. This is a 14-page indictment with 3 counts. And the abuse, the harm, the danger that these victims were placed in for years. This is an ongoing pattern of Diddy's behavior. This did not just start yesterday. This has been going on since 2008. And his attorney has come out and said, this is an unjust prosecution. I've seen an unjust prosecution. I think we all have in this country. This is anything but an unjust prosecution. I would say that this is a rock-solid indictment, and it is time that this individual, Diddy, takes it seriously. He has been in a position of power for so many years. He runs this huge empire. And you know what? A lot of people believe that when they have that much power, they are untouchable. They do not have to answer to the laws. And you know what? The gig is up. This is a solid indictment out of the Southern District of New York. They are the best. And after what happened with Epstein, nothing is going to go unnoticed.
As if we needed something else added to this news cycle right now to keep up with, that is bombshell. I think this is bombshell level stuff. So we are going to pay attention to this. We are going to make sure that as the news continues to develop on this story that we get to it, because I think it's really consequential. How many of the people who are wrapped up in allegations like this, or Harvey Weinstein, or the lot of the actors and actresses who have stood on stages at award shows and lectured the American people about things that need to change? I mean, especially you two, men. You're the scum of the earth when you listen to the way a lot of these people talk. And we've been told for a long time from these very, very wealthy, famous, popular people how we should be better. And it seems as though they should have been more directly calling out the people in their own industry instead of hiding that while standing on ceremony telling America how to behave. Now, I also think that there are going to be a lot of people who are famous who we've entrusted our entertainment to who are going to come out, and we're going to have to really pause and think about who's been victimized, who's been pulled in, especially at a young age. Depending on how much information the American public, the world, gets out of this, I think that we're going to go through a dark time. When you look at the details of what has happened, when you look at the complete and total disrespect for human life that Sean Combs Diddy is accused of having here, that I think it's going to be a lot to absorb. I think it's going to be a lot to take in. It's going to be sad.
You know, you mentioned Weinstein. I'm more optimistic about this one than that one because that one was still powerful people turning on powerful people. So it was like the little guy really wasn't involved in that. This was very famous actresses mostly who had just finally had enough of that system that they're involved in and said, okay, I'm speaking out. And then the Me Too movement kind of came out of that. But it still started with celebrity. It started with power. This one to me looks like it is people that, you know, I don't know who these victims are. This is them getting justice. This is the little guy getting justice. And my hope, my genuine hope, is that now that the DOJ is involved and these high-level government officials that have been so corrupted on so many other things, that there is still hope that even if we don't trust them on everything, that they will go after something that we universally agree is bad. Sex trafficking, child trafficking, these things are evil in the sight of everyone. So to go after somebody who has power, and it's not Hollywood doing this. This is just enough testimony has come out about this guy that you can't ignore it anymore. That makes me optimistic that they're going to do something.
Yeah. We just got a comment from Scott said, honestly, no playing. Diddy is a monster. And if these things that he has been charged with are true, man, I don't know that there is a length of time in prison that will atone for a minute of the things he's been accused of. But we'll watch and see. And we'll see what kind of his lawyer's saying he's an innocent man. I mean, I've seen video of things not even at the level of allegation that is involved in these charging documents that show he's no innocent man. Please. In other news, this is kind of an interesting thing, and we're going to talk to Jim Carafano about this at 1:05, but I wanted to give you a heads up on this story because this is really quite something. Fox News reports at least 9 people were killed. 9 people were killed, and thousands of others were injured when handheld pagers exploded across Lebanon on Tuesday in an apparent targeting of Hezbollah members. This is according to Hezbollah officials. Lebanon's state-run national news agency initially reported that, quote, the handheld pagers systems were detonated using advanced technology, and dozens of injuries were reported in Beirut's southern suburbs and other areas. Lebanon's health minister later said at least 9 people were killed and 2,750 wounded, 200 of them critically. Among those injured when the pagers exploded included Iran's ambassador to Lebanon.
Wow, that's incredible.
Iranian state media reported a security source in Lebanon told Reuters that the pagers were carried by members of Hezbollah. A Hezbollah official speaking to the outlet on condition of anonymity described the incident as a detonation that was the, quote, biggest security breach, end quote, during the nearly year-long war with Israel. It wasn't immediately clear who was responsible for the attack. There's probably some suspicions. While Hezbollah blamed Israel, the Israeli government has not commented. So that is a wild story. I mean, that sounds like James Bond stuff.
Let me just get this clear. 2,700 plus terrorists have had their pagers blow up because of a hack that somebody is. We don't know exactly who it is.
I don't know if it's 27. I mean, I will ask. That's a good question. Ask Carafano for confirmation of that at 1:00. It says 2,750 people wounded, 200 of them critically, 9 dead. Could there be innocents among those? I'm sure, but some targeted action taking place among Hezbollah, and Israel is silent on the issue at this point in time. Hezbollah said the cause of the simultaneous explosions was under investigation. Hezbollah members recently began using the pagers that exploded after the group's leader ordered them to stop using cell phones over concern that Israeli intelligence could track the devices. I'd be going to that guy and saying, pagers, huh? Jim Carafano at 1:05 with that. And Andy McCarthy is going to join us as well at 1:25. And Brad, he's leaning into the idea that this lawfare thing, it's not just a Donald Trump thing.
Right, yeah. He just wrote an article for the National Review, I believe it was late last week, that lays out all these different cases against other people that are suffering from Democrat lawfare who aren't Donald Trump.
I just got a text from my boss who says he's going to take a picture of me in the KMOX studios and post it on our KFTK socials. Is he here? I think we're doing just fine. Not to mention the fact everybody here is very nice and accommodating. We're grateful for it. We're in a new studio, a temporary studio for right now, and we invite you to join. If you want to see what it looks like, go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and see us in our temporary new digs as we spruce up the 97.1 studio a little bit, and come say hi and cheer us on, because it's different, it's new, it's uncomfortable, but it's not bad. We're hanging in there. We're going to have fun with it. So stick around. Ryan, Brad, myself will be back here in just a minute. Let's chat about this when we come back. The YouTube live chat poll. Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? That's the second attempted assassin of Donald Trump. Did he act on his own? Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he's a conspirator. Got to know what you think on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. When you come say hi, vote in that poll. It's located in the live chat of today's live broadcast. You can also stream us live on the Odyssey app anywhere you go. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
No matter what may come to shine, dream will always be mine. All mixed up, you don't. Next thing you turn around and find a person is you. Gotta think might be the thing, but the first could be the last.
I want to talk to you about the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com. We have an event coming up. It's Tuesday, October 1st, and I hope to see you there. I'll get there at about 6 o'clock, and the event starts at 6:30. So you show up at the Frontenac Hilton Tuesday, October 1st, and you get to listen to a free, it's like 45 minutes maybe, with Bob and Tammy Kershaw and Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group. And here's what you want to know. He's not going to soak up a lot of your time. He's not going to take up your whole evening. It costs you nothing. There are snacks. That never hurts. And at the end, you get to walk away and understand how the Retirement Advisory Group is going to give you a customized plan to help you protect your retirement going into the future. That's a worry-free retirement. When you know, you know. When you're aware of what the future holds, you don't have to worry about it. You can put yourself in a position to know when retirement is right for you. And you can start thinking about the fun and the joy of retirement instead of the worry and the anxiety is, did I do enough? Have I made the right moves? The Retirement Advisory Group knows the right moves, and this free event for you is the right way to go to get that process started. You can find them online at retirementkey.com.
If you've been dragging your feet waiting for the perfect opportunity to consolidate your debt, start an overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call at 314-336-6050. Interest rates have come down and home values are up. I'm here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your first home, your dream home, or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I will give you straightforward answers and develop a plan that fits your goals. My direct number is 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050. Or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC 224143 NMLS 250353.
When Greg Hammonds at GregHammonds.com talks to people about health insurance, they tell him, 1, my premiums are too much. 2, my deductible is so high I never meet it. And 3, my doctor doesn't accept my plan anymore. Greg offers private health insurance plans that are not on the ACA marketplace. You can pick your doctors. For most claims, you won't even pay a deductible, and they're 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. One more thing, there's no tax penalty at the end of the year. Greg even has plans that are guaranteed acceptance and available all year long, so you can enroll today. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Freedom of thought. Freedom of speech. It's defended here on your home for conservative talk and conservative values. 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Well, the boys round here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? That's right. Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid, to get the girl and your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads
As
out.
former President Trump was moving through the fifth fairway across the course and out of sight of the sixth green, the agent who was visually sweeping the area of the sixth green saw the subject armed with what he perceived to be a rifle and immediately discharged his firearm. The subject, who did not have line of sight to the former president, fled the scene. He did not fire or get off any shots at our agent. With reports of gunfire, the former president's close protection detail immediately evacuated the president to a safe location. The protective methodologies of the Secret Service were effective yesterday.
So that was from the U.S. Secret Service acting director, Ronald Rowe. Was that yesterday? That was the yesterday press conference, right? And he's saying that the would-be assassin did not have line of sight to Trump. I'm pretty sure that in a certain amount of time, he absolutely would have had line of sight. Rowe went on to say more.
Again, what I go back to is yesterday was an off-the-record movement. Off the record. And the president wasn't even really supposed to go there. It was not on his official schedule. And so we put together a security plan, and that security plan worked.
So, Ryan, it wasn't on his official schedule. He, quote, wasn't really supposed to go there. But the shooter was in the bushes at 2 a.m.? What in the world? How do you explain that? How?
Yeah, that makes you start to ask a lot of questions.
Questions that we don't want to ask.
Questions you have to ask because the facts suggest that, and look, this is where journalism comes in.
Uh-oh.
This is where
we're screwed.
This is where real journalists,
we're toast.
Who have access to the White House, who have access to these people like we do not, can sit down and ask real questions. But I just don't think, based on the past, that we're going to hear those questions asked. Now, we're going to hear them asked quite a bit from people who may not have that access, but that's where we are in America, isn't it?
So the YouTube live chat poll for today, did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? If you go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, you can see that poll is in the live chat portion of today's live broadcast. You hear that, and you know that his phone was pinged in those bushes early the night before. He had food with him. He had been there. How was he there? How did he know to be there? Was he a lone wolf, or would you consider him to be a conspirator? Ryan, we'll go with you first, then Brad, you can tell us what you think.
Well, the thing is, there's only two ways that he could be a part of something bigger. And one of them would have to be that he was a part of it would have to be high-level U.S. government, because it couldn't just be a random person. He is caught now. He will out that person, we assume, if that is the case. The other option is that, it makes me not believe that it was somebody on the inside of our government, because to pull it off, man, there's just too many people that would have to be in on it. Nothing's beyond possibility, but the other possibility is that this was a foreign actor. There was somebody like Iran, which has been suggested,
who's threatened Trump's life,
who's trying to get at him. Now, this looks like something that would be possible, because Iran just isn't going to get close to the president other than through some nut job like this. And he ultimately was unsuccessful, which is great. This looks like something sloppy like that, so that very well could be the case. But at this point, if I'm going to answer the question, did Ryan Routh act on his own accord, until I see more, which very well could happen, I'm going to say no, there's no conspiracy here.
You're saying lone actor?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
Man, I don't know. I look at this, and so Ryan just went through a whole big long list of reasons why it wouldn't be a lone actor. But I look at a lot of things that I'm seeing come up on the internet, and like videos this guy was in, like he was interviewed by CBS and different things at different times. I mean, this guy was very much interested in the war in Ukraine and that sort of thing. There's pictures of him. Whether or not they're real, I don't know. I can't confirm. This is like that time in my life where I'm going, AI is really scary. So you could see some of this stuff and be like, oh yeah, this is totally real. Or you can see some of this stuff and be like, what is going on here? But I don't think that he randomly happenstance comes across the golf course. I don't think that he stops his car and camps out there for 9 hours or whatever it was that it was alleged and gets to that fence, and they only see him right before Trump comes up to...
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Now, let me get real crazy. So everybody out there, tinfoil hat, this is just my personal conspiracy theory. What if he was a plant by the Secret Service to regain credibility for the service?
Ooh, now you're taking some turns.
Yes, I am. No, but my vote is no. I think he's part of a conspirator, or he is a conspirator. So that would be my vote.
You're saying he's a conspirator?
Yes.
So, Ryan?
I'm saying lone wolf.
You've got good faith.
Well, hey, tomorrow this could change.
Yeah, that's for
I'm
sure.
open to some other ideas.
Yeah. I'm gonna answer that question later in the show. I'm gonna wait for some persuasion from the people because I want to be like Ryan, but I think I'm more like Brad. Why is it that this guy, if he's a lone wolf, why would he go after Donald Trump? We've seen a lot of accusations around Donald Trump's rhetoric. I mean, the victim blaming here, this man is being shot at, and they're like, Donald Trump is to blame. Again, I said this yesterday. Apparently it ran as a promo for the last 24 hours, that they basically said that Donald Trump's skirt is too short, and then he asked for it. It really is outrageous. Enter CNN once again.
What does the fact that he wanted to survive say to you?
It says that he's not... First, he's not suicidal, apparently. He wasn't going to take his own life if he was almost being captured. Clearly, we saw that he was captured without that. And it tells me that he's probably much more politically motivated. The last shooter in Pennsylvania, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to promote him in any way, but he was clearly a guy that was looking for the notoriety of taking that shot. I would think we're going to find that this guy's extremely politically motivated, and that he probably was spurred on by much of the political diatribes that are going on these days, talking about Trump, equating him to Hitler. And
so when you listen to this commentary on how a guy like Routh might be radicalized in order to do something like this, you've got CNN on there. This is Aaron Burnett's show with a commentator on there talking about how you can't refer to somebody as Hitler and not expect people out there to be like, I think I should take care of the problem. We see this over and over again in the way the media talks about Donald Trump, we know that they detest him. We know that they are framing him as though he is their word. Their word is that he's a threat. Is there anything they say more about Donald Trump than he's a threat to democracy?
He's a threat. No, all the time.
That
all
he's
the time.
a threat.
Yeah.
It's not that, gosh, he's going to cost you a lot more money if you're in the middle class. He's a threat. Do you think that they thought those words through when they chose to go with threat to democracy? Do you think they understood how strong that would end up playing with the American public? And if you have a Looney Tune guy like Ryan Routh out there, I mean, what I've seen from him, he seems like somebody I wouldn't want to be anywhere near. Listen to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden using that phrase.
They have no chance of owning a stake in their own country. The American dream of homeownership is completely out of reach for millions of young Americans. And when Donald J. Trump is president, that's going to stop. We're going to fight for their American dreams. We're going to fight for young people to be able to buy.
So that's not the right clip, but you've heard them say over and over and over again, threat to democracy, threat to democracy, threat to democracy. Are we going to care enough about our words that we're going to stop them? Because, again, to use the left's playbook, we have only ever heard them talk about words and the dangers of vocabulary. I mean, words are dangerous. Look what they've done to people. Look at how they've destroyed people who have said maybe the wrong word at the wrong time, or maybe they said something that the other person didn't like and they got offended. And so what happens when they get offended? They seek to destroy. You use the wrong words, there are real consequences to that. But in the case of threat to democracy, threat to democracy, threat to democracy, you can say that over and over and over again. You could shoot at the opponent that's running to be the president of the United States, and that's Trump's fault? I mean, come on. I see it coming. You know how they act. You know what their playbook is. I don't like ever to allow my chain to be pulled. So I don't want to sit here and be like all outraged and pulling my hair out because they did something that they did on Monday and they did it on Sunday and they did it on Saturday. It's not like they do it on Tuesday and you're like, oh, this is shocking. Of course this is what they're doing. This is how they operate. It's gaslighting. It's a masterclass in gaslighting. And what ends up happening is you get conservative talkers on the air and they rage for 3 hours a day. You rage, you rage, you rage, you rage. And then what do you do on the next day? You rage, you rage, you rage, you rage. That's exhausting. I'm not doing that. But we do have to put our heads together and figure out a way to win. I don't understand conservatives who see this over and over again and are just content to rage back. I mean, it's not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah, the threat to democracy thing is intentionally emotional because, as we've said before, what exactly is it that Trump's going to do that's going to end the Republic of the United States of America? I've never really heard anybody say that, let alone anybody in leadership come out and give the exact way that they think that based on his previous presidency, that he's going to end the country as we know it. So it's intended to be inflammatory. It's intended to be emotional. So you don't really think about it. You just feel it. You just feel it. Therefore, you got rando crazy peoples just feeling it and going out and taking shots at the guy. Now, is one related to the other? I think they are. I don't know that they're intended to be related, but they are related. So the constant emotion, that's all they're doing is just driving up emotions of the country. It ends up in negative things like this. Negative being a very docile word for an assassination attempt.
Here's
Donald
the mashup.
Trump is an existential threat to our democracy.
He's a genuine danger to American security.
We are fighting for a democracy.
We have to preserve our democracy.
You have to preserve your democracy. You have to fight for your democracy. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, and they're shooting at him. Hillary Clinton, she's got something to say about it. Let's listen to her.
If he were really a leader,
he should be doing what he can to calm the waters, not try to just continue to throw, red meat out there to get people riled up. We can't go back and give this very dangerous man another chance to do harm to our country and the world.
This is what they have. This is what they have. And we're still seeing people in high, prominent positions saying that Donald Trump needs to be eliminated. These are sick people. But you knew that. You knew that already. Donald Trump knows that already. And you know what? That's why he's still running. That's why he's still in the race. Because their sickness, the diseased way that they think, and the destruction of America that follows the more that they get power, it has to be stopped. They have to lose. Donald Trump has to win, even if they're going to do everything they can to stop it. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll today. Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he's a conspirator. I got to know what you think about this. Oh, it's a little bit of a close vote. You got to weigh in. You got to know what you think about this one, because I think it's going to really, like Ryan said, even though he said he's a lone wolf, there are questions that have to be asked that absolutely need to be answered. So we're gonna get on the path to doing that here on this show. That's for sure. Quick break. What do you got for Wiggins America?
Oh, this is some really good food news. A little bit more of a social angle at the food news, though. Not just going to give you the latest in fast food.
I was going to say, is this your week in fast food?
I'm not saying there will be no fast food.
There's never no fast food. All right, Wiggins America. We come back. Don't go away.
Southern drawling, just can't help it because they just keep falling for the boys.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Drinking that ice cold beer, talking about
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
the boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man.
I'm not saying you should get a bottle of Andrea's sauce to impress people, but I'm not saying you shouldn't do that either. If you have people over this time of year, depending on the occasion, we still got some really good grilling ahead of us. Some outdoor activities, especially going into fall, that if you grab a bottle of Andrea's sauce and you're doing something basic, you don't have to necessarily do steaks. I don't know if you've ever been to a barbecue that had steaks. I have maybe like once or twice from really rich people, but I've been to mostly barbecues where they serve hamburgers. If you are making hamburgers for your guests, put them in Andrea's sauce and let them just kind of soak that up and then grill those. You will be surprised at how many compliments you get on your hamburgers. And some people might know, because this is St. Louis, they'll go, "You got Andrea's on this, don't you?" That's always a fun feeling, because then you feel like you're in the cool club. So get a bottle of Andrea's sauce. You will not only make your barbecues better, you will make everything you make better at home. And it's so easy. Again, we do pork tenderloin by just pouring a bottle over it and sticking it in the oven, and then we got a great meal. So get a bottle of Andrea's sauce at Schnucks or Dierberg's or at Andreas.com.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
Attention, Missouri residents in need of care at home. If you have Medicaid and need assistance with daily activities, you can receive free in-home care from a loved one, funded by Medicaid with no cost to you. Freedom Care, Missouri's #1 home care provider, gives you the power to choose who provides your care, and they get paid instantly. Imagine your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift. Freedom Care has over 5,000 five-star Google reviews and is #1 in Missouri for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's 100% free to you, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-3027. That's 314-557-3027. 314-557-3027.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
If you're looking for all the comforts of home plus some in a senior living community, check out Hampton Manor of Wentzville, just off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. They'll even treat you to lunch. Set up your appointment today and tell them Mark Cox sent you. WentzvilleAssistedLiving.com.
The Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll of the day is about Ryan Routh. Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? You have two choices. Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he's a conspirator.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
All right.
We know you've got an interesting take on things. You can tell us by clicking the microphone button next to Listen Live when you're on the Odyssey app. Record a short message for us to hear when you tune into 97.1 on the Odyssey app.
Dum 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 be dooby dum 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 be dooby dum 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 be dooby dum wow 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 wow.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Yeah. I probably won. 12:49. This time check is brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! We're having a good time. Nobody knows whether we're on or off.
I know.
The lights don't work.
I can't hear myself.
The lights are on, but nobody's home.
Everything is fine. There's a lot of this going on. Welp.
A good thing is happening not while we're talking about assassination attempts,
No.
but during Wiggins America.
Yeah, it's-
where things are a little lighter here in
Where we're
Wiggins
used to
America.
making mistakes.
This is food news. So, this is the stuff that you really come for. You can't miss this.
This is why you come to work.
This is really the only reason I'm here. Food news is brought to you by me, Ryan Wiggins.
It could be brought to you by you.
Really, yeah, if you want to sponsor this segment,
AnnieFryShow@gmail.com.
just text me directly.
Yeah, let me get your phone number up here.
We'll just do this outside the station. Singles shop for love by adding these secret coded foods to their grocery carts. Yes, you heard it here first.
Pineapples?
Doggone it, you already knew, didn't you? How do you know this stuff? It is pineapples.
Read the story.
It is pineapples. So if you're single...
Do you know this? Do you know what a pineapple in your cart means?
I've heard several things that it can mean.
It could mean that
tell me your interpretation before I read the article.
You're a swinger.
That is the historical understanding. And by history, I mean within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, if you have a pineapple in your cart, that means that you are single. So not necessarily that you're looking for some sort of swingers convention.
I don't believe it. I think it just means you're available.
That's right. It means you're available.
Well, you don't have to be single to be available if you're a swinger.
Ooh, good point.
When we're done with the show, I'll describe to you what swingers do.
Listen, I got Midwest values. Some of these things I've never heard
So
of.
does Tim Walz.
I know, me and Tim Walz. That's why I'm voting for Tim Walz.
Wait, what? You and Tim Walz?
Yeah, Tim Walz and me. We're both from Midwest.
A lot of rumors.
That's what it's been told. That's what they sold me. They
That
said you're
explains the
Midwestern.
jazz hands and leg kicks.
Now you like Kamala Harris because Tim Walz looks like you. It's so neat. They got me. This is other things here too, other than pineapples. So apparently, pineapples have become so popular in metropolitan areas that people will grab them, throw them in their cart, and just walk around accidentally bumping into people looking for meat cutes.
Meat cute is not a word.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's not.
It's hyphenated. It's two words.
Meat cute.
Yeah, and the way you said it, I had to mentally shift from food.
Not MEAT.
Well, I know. It's why I had to make I had to make a little journey in my brain. Is what we're talking about.
Now, I don't know whether this is happening in St. Louis grocery stores. There aren't any downtown, so probably in the metro areas.
Schnucks downtown.
Well, okay, there are, but it's getting to be kind of a desert here,
Ryan,
unfortunately.
There aren't. You say matter of factly that there are no grocery stores downtown. Then I say that.
Okay.
You literally just said there aren't any downtown.
It was hyperbole. This Wiggins America.
No, it was fake news. It was false.
All right, it's fake news that there are no grocery stores. I can tell you, though, that some of the ones that I used to go to are out of business.
This is like arguing with MSNBC.
Pineapples are only the first sign of singlehood. The others are
single.
That
it's available hood.
If you have a bag of lentils in your cart, what does that mean, Annie?
I don't know.
You don't know that one, huh?
You're in short on fiber.
It does mean that. A bag of lentils would mean that you were looking for a long-term relationship.
Ryan's walking around with lentils, and people are like, lentils, eh? And you're like, gotta poop.
Been a little backed up. How about you? Hey, lady.
That just means so many wrong things. Oh. Did you really not know the pineapple swinger connection?
I've heard it before, but I've never tried it. So
what? That's not the question. What are you talking about?
Bag of lentils means you're looking for a long-term relationship, while a head of lettuce says what about you, Annie?
I don't know.
A head of lettuce means that you're looking for a good short-term time.
A hookup.
A hookup. So just so you know. Now,
Can we pick some more, like, rando things that you could put in your cart? Because you might just want pineapple.
Well, here's the reason. Pineapple has the swingers thing. That's where that comes from.
It's supposed to be. Aren't they supposed to be upside down?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's just so you don't accident. I mean, maybe you just do like pineapple.
No. Well, yeah. What if you just like pineapple?
We buy fresh pineapple all of the time for brunch, and there's nothing like a freshly cut pineapple. My husband probably has no idea about the swingers thing, and I'm not going to tell him. So,
I had to explain that to my wife. I was like, if you put that in your cart, put it right side up. She's like, why? I'm like, just put it right side up.
Now, I can see the pineapple thing happening because it is a little bit more well known. But if you see somebody walking through the grocery store with a bag of lentils, are you really going to walk up to them and go, you know what? I'm reliable. I'm looking for a long-term thing. How about you?
But if you know, you know.
Yeah, but then how are you supposed to shop? Because what if everything means something?
The person's just walking around with the bag of lentils like up in the air.
What if you
like you're just walking down aisle 7, but around aisle 8, you just see the lentils in the hand above. You're like, oh, got one.
The lentils
is long term
because lentils last a long time. Head of lettuce, short term because it doesn't last very long. So what if you walk around holding both in the air?
It's good that the people put thought into this.
Yeah. If you walk around holding both means, yeah, I am ready for a hookup, but I hope it leads to something
Pretty
longer.
soon the age of banana you have in your cart is going to mean something as well.
I get that question a lot about bananas in my pocket.
How old's your banana?
Next one, I'm going to go ahead and switch stories since I don't want to follow up with what my last comment.
I think you should just figure out how to break the radio so we can go home now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Beauty lovers are eating dirt, claiming it has health benefits.
I've heard of this.
Have you?
Yeah.
Gosh, it's ridiculous. Why?
Like dirt from like a specific place, maybe in the South?
I think it's, there's like certain soils that are supposed to be good for you. They have microorganisms in them. And they're just saying, just add a teaspoon to maybe a drink or something like that. The soil contributes to the human gut microbiome, revealed study.
Maybe if we just stopped eating chemicals all the time and just ate things that were grown in the dirt, that we'd be fine.
Similarly, previous studies have alleged that dirt can absorb body fat and ultimately aid in the fight against obesity. I would think that the fight against obesity would be won by eating dirt simply because you didn't want to eat that much because you're just eating dirt. You don't consume as many calories. Now, I will say that the minute I saw this headline, though, and this is one I wanted to, if we got a minute here, did you ever
2 minutes.
crave this when you were pregnant?
Dirt? No.
Yes. You have heard of it, though?
No.
Oh, my gosh, my wife. She said, I don't get it, but when I'm pregnant, I want to smell caves, and I want to eat dirt. And I think...
Did you run this by her?
No.
Gosh!
No.
You don't... From now on, you need a permission slip from home to talk about your wife.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let everybody know, and this is for her benefit, that I've got a wife somewhere else. You know, I've got a whole second family. Whenever
extra
I talk
wife?
About, and whenever I talk about her,
It all started with a pineapple.
I was gonna say he's going through the grocery store with a bag of lentils.
So if you see me in regular daily life and you say, "Oh, I heard that story about your wife, honey," I want you to know that that's my other wife.
Did you run that by your other wife?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No, not my other. My other wife doesn't. She lives way far away. I got to take trips. Last one. Nearly a third of parents polish off kids' lunchbox leftovers for dinner. Yeah, right? What? A third of parents are eating the leftovers from lunch?
Where has that food been?
Yeah, it's been sitting in there for a long time.
That's a
getting all nasty.
no. And they probably rubbed it on the ground.
Oh,
they dropped
who
it on
knows?
the floor and they put it back. And
if it's from when I was a kid, it was traded. You're like, oh, I'll give you my raisins for your fruit snacks, and nobody take that trade, so you keep having to work the system.
No,
it's not even your food anymore.
If your kid gets a meal and you're at a restaurant and they don't eat it, that food's getting eaten. Usually by big brother or dad. After you packed it in the morning or maybe even the night before, and then it gets left for an entire day, no possible way. Not at all. Stick around. We got Jim Carafano and we've got Andy McCarthy next.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
The Diamond Shop, you find them online at thediamondshop.net. They are having a clearance sale right now, and there's up to 70% off. If you are looking for something special for somebody that you love, for yourself, a beautiful watch, if you're looking for maybe a set of earrings or that one big purchase, an engagement ring and a diamond ring, I want you to consider shopping at the Diamond Shop and getting there this weekend because it's, I believe, the 21st when the clearance sale ends. So you're going to want to go visit them in Clayton, Missouri. The Diamond Shop has been around St. Louis since 1910. And when you understand the longevity, the generational path that people go when they buy jewelry from the same person over and over again, it's because they've done the business right. It's because they have made a commitment to doing service right, to providing great value and beautiful, beautiful pieces. I love my pearl necklace from the Diamond Shop. If you're looking for something special, save on their clearance sale. Visit them online at thediamondshop.net.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
He says the contrast is clear. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Chance of Trump in Michigan as running mate J.D. Vance holds a rally 2 days after a man is suspected of trying to kill the former president in Florida.
There is a guy who takes a bullet to the head and stands up and says, "Fight, fight, fight." There is a guy who takes a second almost assassination attempt and responds to it with grace and good humor. And then there's a woman who is terrified of the American media. Who do we think ought to be the president of the United States? Donald J. Trump.
Trump will also be in Michigan later today for a town hall event. Vice President Kamala Harris just arriving in Philadelphia to be interviewed at a gathering of black journalists where Trump had a contentious appearance on the same stage in July. Rapper Sean Diddy Combs is due in federal court later this hour, facing sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Federal prosecutors in New York accusing him of exploiting women and others for years, in part through sexual abuse and violence, using drugs and video evidence to keep victims compliant and silent, and using his business and associates to facilitate the crimes.
They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, They help clean it up.
That's U.S. Attorney Damian Williams. An attorney for Combs says he's an imperfect person, but is not a criminal, and that they're disappointed with the decision to pursue what they call an unjust prosecution. Hamas is condemning exploding pagers in Lebanon, describing it as an escalation. There's no claim of responsibility, but Hezbollah is blaming Israel. Lebanese health officials report at least 8 people dead, nearly 3,000 injured. Pager explosions also reported in Syria. America is listening to Fox News.
Did you know that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief for nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea? Of course you do, because everyone knows the Pepto song. But did you know that Pepto also comes in convenient and delightful solid forms?
Pepto has very fast melts, cherry chewables, liquid caps that make relief easy.
Pepto makes relief on the go easy. So when you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure. Now 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Nothing much going on with our weather as the atmosphere remains all locked up. We're kind of under a little high pressure system. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. 88 should do it for the high. Tonight, the full harvest moon rising with the setting sun. Clear skies 62. Wednesday, sunny and 88. Thursday and Friday, sunshine and temperatures near 90 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, Charles Payne here at one of the exciting Money Show events where I'm presenting the keynote, broadcasting my live TV show, and best of all, giving away free copies of my newest book, Unbreakable Investor. It's a $29.95 value, but if you act now, I'll give you one too.
For your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor, text CASH to 505-505 and just cover shipping. Text CASH to 505-505. Text CASH to 505-505.
I'm handing you my investing playbook, 348 pages on how I personally invest to target the biggest returns while mitigating risk. It's how I've been with the market so I never break. Guidance so crucial for today's investors that I'm covering the cost of the book and giving you a copy for free.
To get your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor, text the word CASH to 505-505 and just cover shipping. Text CASH to 505-505 while supplies last. Text CASH to 505-505 right now.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, October 1st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering what to do with your life savings? Are you concerned how this coming election can affect the stock market and your retirement? Would you like to have a personalized structured income plan that shows you the monthly income you can receive and how to never outlive it?
Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you can't afford to miss the last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 1st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hey contractors, it's Andrea and Scott at Best Buy Flooring.
If you haven't been shopping with us, you owe it to your customers and yourself to check out Best Buy Flooring.
We can meet all flooring needs at the lowest prices in town. Check out our huge selection of carpet tiles, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tiles, sheet vinyl, ceramic, hardwood, and laminate.
Come see us at our 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Open 7 days a week, including at South County. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra will be at Enterprise Center December 18th. Get the best seats by getting your tickets in September for this Christmas season. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, December 18, 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, I think if you repeatedly say someone is going to be the next Adolf Hitler, the next Mussolini, American dictator, there's been publications that have actually put out front page stories that have to depict Trump looking like Hitler. If you do these sorts of things, you eventually have to conclude that the overwhelming majority of people that see that are going to say, we better vote against this guy. But there are enough lunatics and nut jobs out there who are going to take the next step and say, well, this guy is truly evil, if this guy is truly dangerous, if our democracy and our system of government is going to be wiped out if this guy wins, I need to take this guy out. And again, we need to learn more about this individual. We need to learn how he got there, how he, without perimeter, wasn't secured, who he was, and what was behind it. But I think we know enough about some of the things he's posted to say that he clearly was influenced in some way by this rhetoric about Trump being this dangerous dictator in waiting.
Well, we've heard a lot about that from various commentators, that rhetoric. And for some people, they're saying, you listen to people say threat to democracy over and over and over again, and you can kind of see where this is headed. But then you listen to other people and they're saying Donald Trump needs to tone down his rhetoric. That's why this is happening to him. That and a host of other issues we'd like to get to here with our friend Jim Carafano joins us once again, senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here. Is he there? We need to. Okay, we'll wait and see if we can get him back on the air here. I know that we're in a new studio for the day, and so we are working right now on making sure that we can get everything online as it is supposed to be. Brad, or Ryan, I should say, when I think about the push from the left to get the rhetoric in order, knowing that everybody is participating in this equally, I don't really feel like the right is not saying things that are elevated. Oh, wait, we got him. Jim, are you there? Sorry. Are you with us, Jim? Jim Carafano, can you hear us? I hear you. All right. Okay. I want to go ahead and let's put him on hold and see if we can get this working right. We got a new studio that we are working with, and I want to make sure that we can get to him and make sure that he knows he's on air when we put him on air. Do you feel like the right needs to participate, Ryan, in toned down rhetoric? Because right now it's kind of a you go first thing.
A little bit. I think that we should probably all take a step back and say that saying that the democracy is going to end needs proof. And the trouble is that if you look at evidence of people doing things that are going to really upend our system, I saw Donald Trump in office for 4 years. I didn't see really anything he did that was upending the system, other than the fact that he liked to use executive orders. But guess who else did that? Barack Obama did that. George W. Bush did that. Every president recently has been doing that a lot more than I would be comfortable with. So I don't love that. But that's not a Republican thing. That is both sides doing more and more executive orders. What I see is Democrats doing things that would completely upend the system and then saying that the other side's doing it. Case in point, putting more justices on the Supreme Court. Now, would they be breaking laws by doing that? No, but the system has been for hundreds of years now that you have 9 justices on the Supreme Court. They want to do court packing. That would change the system. Adding states that only have Democrat senators, that would change the system. Changing the way we vote, changing federal election laws to be much more loose, that you could not trace really anybody trying to vote. They want to do that at the state level. They almost did it at the federal level under Joe Biden in the first 2 years of his term. So when you look at the evidence for who's trying to kind of upend everything that we know, that's who's doing it.
Yeah. And it does get heightened on both sides, but at this point, who's being shot at? Scott Jennings on CNN.
The rhetoric is on both sides. It's coming from the right. It's coming from the left.
The rhetoric. They have tried to kill this man twice. Okay, he got shot in the ear, and this guy was sitting up shop outside of a golf course to try to kill him this weekend. And I know after something like this happens, it's very fashionable to talk about rhetoric on both sides. Donald Trump is the target. Okay, he's the current target. And it's happening, and it's happened again. And I just, honestly, we have to have a conversation about elections. If you lose an election, the country's not going to come to an end, okay? What I want Democrats to do, honestly, is to say, it's okay. Like, if Donald Trump wins, democracy will not end, the Constitution will not end, we're not going to live in a dictatorship, there will not be a bloodbath. All the things they say that are totally fabricated, to me, it would be a good day to stop doing that.
So I think he's spot on. I think Scott Jennings sitting there saying that the world doesn't end if your candidate loses is an important thing for people to hear. He had more to say
I know
on
everybody's
CNN.
Talking today about all the rhetoric in this country and what are we going to do to fix it going forward. Folks, it's too late. It's too late, in my opinion, because all the rhetoric about Donald Trump over the last several years, that he's a threat to democracy, that the country will come to an end if he gets elected president again. Even over the weekend, we have people blaming him and J.D. Vance for a bomb threat in Springfield. Well, if you have believed that over the weekend, then how can you not believe that the rhetoric leading up to today is not somehow responsible for the fact that this man has now survived 2 assassination attempts?
So when you listen to Scott Jennings talk about those bomb threats in Ohio. So that's been put on the Trump administration, or not administration, campaign on Trump and Vance multiple times. CNN's own Dana Bash.
Nobody is disputing that the town of Springfield, Ohio needs help. But you're not just a bystander. You're the senator from Ohio. So instead of saying things that are wrong and actually causing the hospitals, the schools, the government buildings to be evacuated because of bomb threats, because of the cats and dogs thing, why not actually be constructive in helping to better integrate them into the community?
So, Ryan, Dana Bash, there's no shame here. And this is somebody who is A, moderated a presidential debate, B, had the only national sit-down conversation with the opponent, C, she's sitting here putting this on the Trump Vance ticket as if this is 100% their problem. I'm going to play Governor DeWine's comments here in a second, but
it just cracks me up because when you listen to the media blame J.D. Vance for raising the rhetoric, you're the media. You are the ones in control of the message and raising the rhetoric. You're the same network that's running all this stuff about threats to democracy, and yet it makes me wonder, bigger picture, where do we go from here? This has gotten so intense, the rhetoric from the left, because you're talking about this one little issue, Dana Bash's, but the rhetoric from the left has gotten so heightened that it makes me wonder in 2028, regardless of who's president or who has been president, how do you wrap this up? How do you go higher than that?
I don't know, but it's important that we do. We're going to try again with our very patient Jim Carafano with the Heritage Foundation. Jim, can you hear us? I hope you can.
I can.
Thank you for your patience. We're in a separate
all the way
studio.
in Budapest.
Oh, Budapest, man. Well, we went down the hall and we're panicking. You're in Budapest. I want to get your thoughts on the second attempt on Donald Trump's life. This guy who is fighting for Ukraine, in Ukraine, photos with Zelensky, unless they're AI photos. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, this guy's a total grifter, right? He has nothing to do with Ukrainians, or Ukrainians want nothing to do with them. That's that end of the story. The guy's an obvious wacko. So, two things. One is, these are the kinds of attacks the Secret Service are designed to stop. It's not Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible or Carlos the Jackal. It's a Yahoo with a gun that can get close to the president and shoot him. So they have failed against exactly the kind of plots. And for somebody to get within 100 yards, several hundred yards of the president within shooting distance, that's a failure. It doesn't matter if they pull the trigger or not. It's a complete failure. So we have clear operational failures here, twice. So that says to me that there are serious failures in how the Secret Service functions. And I got to tell you, look, I remember that this is not a new. This is a new thing, right? I was there in the Trump years. I saw security at a presidential event. We had Secret Service come to Heritage, and we have high-profile foreign visitors. This is not the way the Secret Service is supposed to. That's a failure. So that I can tell just by Heritage had a recent event on this. We've run in some experts that looked at this. That is not up for question. These are operational failures, which the Secret Service is literally not functioning correctly. Here's the thing I don't know, and which if somebody says this turns out to be true, I believe them. That this administration doesn't care about protecting Donald Trump. That if anybody said, actually, I don't think we're providing enough protection to Trump, that somebody would say, what are you want to get fired? There's clearly a failure in operational practice in what they do in the leadership of the Secret Service. What I can tell you is the President of the United States and the Secretary of Homeland Security simply indifferent to the security and protection of the former President of the United States? You can convince me the answer is yes.
So just to be clear, who's the buck stopper on providing Donald Trump the security to make sure that his life is secure?
The President of the United States. The Secretary of Homeland Security reports to him. The Secret Service reports to the Secretary of Homeland Security. So the guy that created the open border that lets 10 million illegal aliens come to this country, that's responsible for an unprecedented crime wave, and turning the Border Patrol from the Border Patrol into a concierge service for illegal immigration, that's the person that's responsible for the functioning of the Secret Service. Same dude.
Man. Well, I pray for Donald Trump right now because I don't really feel like this is over. It's just really scary. I want to shift gears, and I know we don't have you for much longer, and we appreciate your patience while we're trying to figure out a lot of tech stuff as we've switched studios here. The Fox News report about 9 people killed and thousands of others injured when handheld pagers exploded across Lebanon today, an apparent targeting of Hezbollah members. Can you comment on this and tell us what's going on here, what you might know?
Well, look, the Israelis are sending every signal possible to Hezbollah saying, dude, back off. You really don't want to do this. Iran may want you to do this. Hamas may be pleading for you to open a second front. But trust me, you do not want to do this. Your country is not going to survive this well. You should think that you need to live another day. And if shooting down your drones and missiles and taking out your ammo supplies doesn't convince you, the fact that we've just demonstrated we can reach out and touch all the individual leadership in the entire network, including people in the Iranian regime who are working with Hezbollah, that should send you a message that maybe this is not the day. It's like if the Indians rode up to Custer and said, you know what, you don't really want to go to the Little Bighorn today. Maybe another day, but not today.
Will they get the message? Is there a way to communicate to Hezbollah that will tell them to stand down?
If I knew that, I could have your job.
Well, I don't know much anything. I appreciate that, Jim. We appreciate you joining us from Budapest. You said that's pretty impressive as usual. Thank you for your patience with us and working with us to get you on today.
Well, only because you're the best voice in radio in the universe. That's the only reason.
You're the best voice, definitely in Budapest, for sure. Jim, we appreciate you. Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. All right. We successfully hung up on him.
The best voice in Budapest sounds like it might end up being the name of his memoir.
3 days in Budapest.
Yeah.
I'll write the foreword on it. Oh, man. All right. Well, we appreciate you being with us today. We are in a temporary studio. We're having fun with it. We've got some new updates coming to the normal studio that we use. So we are pushing through, and I'm excited about our next guest. Andy McCarthy is going to be with us, and we're going to talk to him about the lawfare that has taken place, the absolute aggressive nature with which the justice system has pressed upon Donald Trump. And is it just Donald Trump? Is that all that they really are going after? I think the answer is no. And Andy McCarthy is going to break it down for us when we come back. Come say hi on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Give Brad some encouraging words. He's got a lot of things being thrown at him at once. He's doing a great job, and he can use your encouragement. So come say hi and vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. Did Ryan Routh, that second shooter, the second assassin of Donald Trump's man, he's racking him up, did he act on his own accord? Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he's a conspirator. Annie Fry YouTube channel. Live chat poll. Andy McCarthy next.
Climb the highest mountain. I want to write my name in the clouds and never come back again.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Let's talk about aircomfortservice.com. aircomfortservice.com/flash. I'm getting better at saying that now. 314-513-0091. Get access to this flash deal right now for a free service call, which is almost $100 of savings. If your air conditioner or your furnace needs service, visit aircomfortservice.com/flash, and you can take advantage of this limited time offer. You can trust Air Comfort Service in your home to check your AC unit, to check your furnace. We're getting close to that time, folks. You're going to fire up that furnace. And you want to make sure that everything is good working order, is in safe working order. And Air Comfort Service can help you do that. And why would you not want this free service call on this flash deal from Air Comfort Service? But you do got to call them, and you got to let them know Annie sent you. Here's the number. I'll give it to you a couple of times. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Ask them about that free service call. Say, I heard something about a flash deal, and I'm interested. You can find them online at aircomfortservice.com/flash.
Experience the beauty of custom crafted windows that enhance your home's aesthetics and energy efficiency. Look no further than Infinity from Marvin, proudly brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. Why choose Infinity? These windows are not just strong, they're 8 times stronger than vinyl, providing unmatched security for your home. Plus, with Lakeside's expert installation, you're guaranteed precision and perfection. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today. Elevate your home with Infinity from Marvin, where strength meets style.
If you're thinking of selling your home, I'm sure there are two things you want: certainty and the most money, right? Hi, it's Mark Cox, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know the only agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first and only call when looking for an agent. Gloria doesn't make empty promises. No, she provides written guarantees. Now, what does this mean for you? Certainty. Now, certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Our friend Scott Jennings. If he does another debate, the moderators are going to be even worse than the last ones, which were bad.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Fry Show.
Existential threat to our democracy.
He's a genuine danger to American security.
We are fighting for a democracy.
We have to preserve our democracy.
Every time I hear that clip and I hear Joe Biden's voice, it's jarring to me how weak his voice is. But that's a montage, a mini montage there of the repeated threat to democracy that we continue to hear from those people who are trying to lead us or are leading us. And then, of course, there's all of the rhetoric that comes out of the media. They've really built a strong case just by legal system, legal challenges, lawfare against Donald Trump to try to back up the idea that he is a threat. But is that lawfare even an honest, realistic depiction of who Donald Trump is? Let's bring our next guest on. Excited to have Andy McCarthy back with us on the Annie Fry Show. He's the contributing editor at National Review. He is the host of the McCarthy Report. You also see him, of course, on Fox News as a Fox News contributor. Andy, thank you for being with us today. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Annie, it's my pleasure.
So, there's been a second attempt on Donald Trump's life, and there's a lot of questions leading up to this individual who is doing this, trying to figure out motives and everything. A lot of people are talking about rhetoric, and we hear the left regularly talking about the threat that Donald Trump is. And I think that the lawfare that's been thrown against him is certainly one of the things that they use to really prop up that idea. You've been at the forefront of covering this lawfare. Do you think that there's a factor in here that this has just been a political motivation to make people believe that he is a threat?
Well, I think that most of the rhetoric about rhetoric has been designed to intimidate people into not crossing lines that the left doesn't want crossed. So I think that Trump is the target in the sense that he's the one who draws attention, and when they criticize what they call hot rhetoric, when he uses it, when they use it, it's passion, but when he uses it, it's incitement. But I think the design of this, like the design of much of lawfare, where the process is more the penalty than the ultimate outcome of some of these cases, is to intimidate people into not exercising their rights. I prosecuted terrorists back in the 90s, including prosecuting the blind sheikh successfully for incitement. That was actual incitement, calling for violent attacks on American military targets under circumstances where you were dealing with somebody who had demonstrated in the past the capacity to order acts of violence, that people would actually carry out his orders. That's incitement. And the reason I argue pretty hard that anything that stays on the right side of incitement is something that we should just indulge. It doesn't mean you have to like it. A lot of political language is pretty obnoxious, and historically it's been that way. But the alternative, if you let the government and let people with an agenda start to intimidate people into turning into taboos, what should actually be policy that we discuss openly, is that you have a much more dangerous society.
Andy McCarthy with us right now, Fox News contributor and contributing editor at National Review. I'm looking at this article that you have at National Review right now, and you're pointing out the fact that Donald Trump is far from the only target of Dems' lawfare abuse. That's the headline for your article. And, we, of course, talk quite a lot, of course, about Donald Trump. But what the tentacles of this lawfare from this aggressive Justice Department, it has a far reach.
Yeah, it sure does. And I think that obviously Trump is the most prominent target of this, but he's far from the only target of it. And the difference between Trump and a lot of people who feel the lash of this is that Trump actually has not only the attention of the media and a high profile, he has a lot of resources to hire lawyers and investigators to help him to, mount a defense, which has been a very successful defense in the last 2 years. But also because he's got the media profile, he can fight back and call what's going on in a way that the average person can't. I wrote over the weekend about a Republican poll watcher who, made a remark about, something that he had witnessed in a recount in Michigan in a close local race. He analogized it to treason, which, may be an unfortunate analogy, but it certainly wasn't anything more than that. The guy was just blowing off steam. He didn't even make the remark to the person that he was talking about, who was in another room. And you had a progressive Democratic prosecutor in Michigan charge him with making a terrorist threat, which has a 20-year potential prison sentence. Now, I'm pretty confident, given what the law of Michigan is and the law of the United States, that that's a case that ought to get laughed out of court and probably will at some point. But I've seen what happened with Trump in Manhattan, where you had a progressive Democratic elected prosecutor and a progressive Democratic judge presiding, and Trump got convicted. And I think it'll ultimately be reversed, but it may take 2 or 3 years. Trump can afford that, but not everybody can. So what happens to this guy? He's if he gets railroaded in the trial court, which could happen, I think he'll eventually win the case on appeal, but he'll have gone through God knows how much money in legal fees, the anxiety that you have when you're under criminal accusation, the lost employment opportunities. So this is why I say that the process is the penalty. You have one side of our political debate in this country which actually believes that it's the right thing to do to use the processes and administration and the administrative state in our country, all of these very elaborate processes, to use them in a punitive way that breaks their opposition and makes everybody else, what this stands as is a sign to everyone else that this can happen to you too if you cross us.
Yeah, I think that's the really scary thing. We've heard President Trump say they're coming after him because they're trying to get to us, the American people, or at least those who don't think correctly according to how the people who have the power believe that they should. I mean, is this justice bias, Andy McCarthy, in your opinion? Is it able to be politically influenced, or is it bureaucratically institutionalized, or both?
I think I think it's both. I think the history of the progressive movement in America, particularly as it's gotten, it's really in its ascendancy since Obama, and it's gotten much more aggressive, I would say, in the last 20 years. But I think the history of it always is that it gravitates to the place where it can make the biggest impact. So, for example, when you had conservative administrations in the 80s into the 90s, they pushed their agenda through the courts. When you had progressive Democrats in power, for example, in the Obama administration, they pushed their agenda through executive power. They're still pushing their agenda through executive power and the administrative state. So they always go to the weakest link in the chain and use that, use the levers of power when they can acquire them to push their agenda up the field. The difference between now and, say, the 1980s, 1990s, when I was a prosecutor in New York, I always draw this comparison. If you would run for Manhattan District Attorney or New York State Attorney General in the 80s or 90s, and you said, elect me and I will use the powers of the office against our political enemies, that would not only have been deemed a disqualifying argument, they would have run you up to Bellevue Hospital for a mental evaluation for making an argument like that. Flash forward to 2018, maybe 2017, Letitia James runs for Attorney General in New York State and says, elect me and I will use the powers of the office to take on Donald Trump and target him. And she got elected like 70% to 30%. So that's not just a legal problem. That says a lot about the culture, at least in these one-party blue states.
Andy McCarthy with us right now. I have just one question for you. In your expertise, in your opinion, is the solution? I mean, I feel like if we elect Donald Trump, a lot of the policies that I want to have enacted are much more likely to be enacted should he be put into office. But that executive has the ability to help fire people who need to be fired and try to reshape the Justice Department. And yes, I assume that you are putting your trust in the guy on the other side of the aisle to, air quotes, do the right thing. Can Donald Trump, or even Kamala Harris for that matter, can they go in there and impact justice quickly with their abilities as the president of the United States?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I think one of the things we should be talking more about, Annie, is the Democrats, for all this talk about Donald Trump being the greatest threat to democracy, the Democrats have controlled the executive branch, which is now the most powerful branch by far in government, for 12 out of the last 16 years. That means, just to get an idea, we have about 800 plus federal judges in the United States. 540 of them have been appointed by Barack Obama and Joe Biden in 12 of the last 16 years. Trump got a lot, but he had a 4-year term. He got 220. They had more than twice as many, and the next president will probably get another 200 plus. So, it's one thing to talk about Trump and his policy preferences and, the threat to democracy and all this stuff. But where the rubber meets the road, where a lot of these issues are being fought out, every single day, a Democratic administration is going to be appointing federal judges, federal administrators. They're going to be threading the Justice Department, the administrative state, all over the place with their operatives. And that's what moves policy in this country.
Yeah, there's so much consequence to what happens in November, and I think that a fair justice system is something that is desired on a bipartisan level. Andy McCarthy, thank you. We always love having you with us, and we appreciate your expertise on this issue.
Thanks so much, Andy.
We'll have you back soon. Andy McCarthy, a Fox News contributor. He's also the contributing editor at National Review. We always appreciate him coming on. He's on X at Andrew C. McCarthy. Go tell him hi. Tell him thanks for being on the show. If you like hearing him, I love it when he comes on. All right, I'm going to turn over the rest of the show to Ryan Wiggins. So he just found that out just now.
Okay, we're going to be talking about polls for the next hour and a half.
You know what? There is a contingent of people who is going to be locked and loaded, ready to go.
It's my people.
Yeah, we're in a separate studio today. We're here, of course, still at the radio station. We're in the it's called Studio C. We're in the KMOX territory. We snuck in here. We got these microphones, and we're seeing how long they'll let us stay.
It's a pirate broadcast.
It's a pirate yar.
It's a pirate yar.
Broadcast. I don't know how you say the R like a
brr.
sounds like you're cold.
I think I'm going to mark that and make us.
That sounds like my stomach.
We're getting some upgrades in the 97.1 studio. So we've got several things that are, well, I would say pretty much everything is off from usual, but we're handling it. We're managing. We're excited to be here. And we've got more fun to talk about in the rest of the show. We'll also get back to that YouTube live chat poll. Not so fun. Did Ryan Routh act on his own? Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he was a conspirator. You go to the Anti-Fry YouTube channel, and you can come see our new digs for the moment and vote in that poll. Leave a comment. Stick around. We'll be right back. Don't go away. STS-armory.com. That's the website that you go to check out the firearms that they have available in Illinois. It's in Pontoon Beach. It's kind of a delineation of people who want to support their Second Amendment and flex their Second Amendment a little bit in Illinois. It's just is more complicated. It's really ridiculous, but you need people who understand the laws, who can help you navigate the laws so that you can be a responsible, law-abiding citizen in the state of Illinois. And STS Armory is that for my family. If you go to STS-armory.com, you will quickly see all of the different accessories that you can get to help with sights or grips or whatever it might be that you're looking for. You can also get security. You can get holsters. You can also get classes as well, which I think is really, really important. Make sure that you understand how to safely operate your firearm, that you can get your conceal and carry license from them. You can get a renewal from them. You can find out everything that you need to know at 618-931-GUNS. 618-931-GUNS. Give them a call. Tell them Annie sent you and ask away. You can also find them online at STS-armory.com.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Dell's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Just a house payment. You spend weekends on upkeep. Repairs drain your bank account. And with your equity locked up, you can't do anything. You love your home and want to stay, but it's a constant struggle. What if you could sell your home, reclaim your weekends, and not have to move? You can with TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. TrueHold will buy your home now while the market is high. You can bank all that equity in cash and stay in your home with a lease. Plus, you won't have to worry about property taxes, insurance, or upkeep anymore. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Join thousands that have secured their retirement, paid off bills, and financed their dreams. Get an offer now while the market is hot. Call 1-855-300-9993. That number again is 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com to cash out your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com. Don't wait. Call now. 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com.
Do you have $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 in debt? Then listen to this. You may not be required to pay it all back.
I was drowning in debt.
I had over $36,000 in debt. If I would have just made the minimum payments, it would have taken me 59 years to pay off.
Whether it's credit card, medical, or personal loan debt, National Debt Relief can help significantly reduce what you owe. In fact, debt relief payments can be 50% less than your monthly credit card payments. That's right, half as much as you're paying now.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by over $27,000.
With National Debt Relief, you have a powerful team that knows how to talk to your creditors.
National Debt Relief, they got me out of debt.
More than 550,000 Americans have used National Debt Relief to reduce their debt. Call 800-649-6464 to see if you qualify to settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. 800-649-6464. That's 800-649-6464.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need the best. Let us make your case our cause. Car accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? That's today's YouTube live chat poll. You have two options. Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he is a conspirator, as in he is a part of a conspiracy. Let us know what you think about today's question. Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? By typing in Annie Fry into YouTube, and the live chat poll will come up. You can also watch the live broadcast. We're in a different studio today. It looks a little different if you'd like to come see us. So let us know. The time is 1:48. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Wednesday, September 25th, join the Annie Fry Show in St. Charles as we support Princess Storm's annual diaper drive. You can buy diapers at Ruler Foods to donate right there on the spot, or bring your own. Come say hi. Wednesday, September 25th.
Lots of rolling wheels and shifting gears.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's been quite a fun 1 o'clock hour. Got to speak with Jim Carafano, also Andy McCarthy on the show to talk about the news of everything that's going on right now with the Trump assassination attempt, second time, as well as what is taking place with those blowing up pagers on members of Hezbollah. Really, really crazy stuff. In the meantime, we've seen Kamala Harris is taking questions at, correct me if I'm wrong here, gentlemen, but the National Association of Black Journalists.
Yeah, it's a panel in Philadelphia.
And they've been going for a while, but it seems like they're asking questions right now. So we want to listen into the question and answers of what's going on right now. So,
Vice President, Black men, as you know, are a closely watched voting bloc. You've hosted Black men at your residence. Yep. You have engaged Black men and centered them in your economic opportunity tour. Mm-hmm. But polling shows that some Black men, particularly young Black men, are considering voting for Donald Trump, and they see him as better for the economy. What is your message to young Black male voters who feel left out of this economy, and how can your economic policies materially change their lives?
So I appreciate the spirit of the question, but I'll tell you, I've often been asked this question in a way that I've had to respond by first saying that I think it's very important to not operate from the assumption that black men are in anybody's pocket. Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote. Not assuming I'm going to have it because I am black, but because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all communities. And I intend to be a president for all people. Specifically as it relates to what we need to do, to your point around economic opportunity, yes, I started way before I was at the top of the ticket at what I called an economic opportunity tour, focused on black men. Understanding that, for example, we have so many entrepreneurs in the community who do not have access to capital, but they've got great ideas, an incredible work ethic, the ambition, the aspiration, the dream, but don't have the relationships necessarily. So my work has included, as vice president, getting billions more dollars into community banks, including working with the big banks to do that, so that we can increase access to capital for our small businesses, for our startups. Part of my plan under my economic opportunity plan going forward is that right now, startup entrepreneurs, small businesses only get a tax deduction of $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. So I'm expanding that to $50,000. Understanding, again, that when people have the opportunity to have the resources to get started, they're going to put the good ideas, they're going to put the hard work into it. And part of what I also know is that our young black men, just like any group of people, anybody, our small businesses are really the backbone of our economy overall. And when they do better economically, we all do better. Part of my work is about understanding what we need to do in dealing with, for example, the historic inequities that have faced the black community around home ownership. Right? I don't have to go through the history with anybody here about what that has meant in terms of redlining, what that has meant in terms of biases and home appraisals, and what the impact it has had on stemming the opportunity to build intergenerational wealth because of those obstacles. So part of the work that I have done and will continue to do is identify, speak truth about those obstacles, and address them. Another example is medical debt. 1 in 4 black families or individuals is more likely to carry medical debt than others. So part of my perspective, and as vice president, part of the work that we have done is to say that we're going to eliminate medical debt from being on your credit score. Because until now, medical debt worked against your credit score, and people know their credit score like your weight. Right? You know that number. And the difference between what that number is and what it needs to be is the difference between you being able to get a car loan, a small business loan, or even a lease on an apartment. And so part of my approach is understanding the obstacles that traditionally and currently exist to allow anyone, including black men, be able to achieve economic wealth. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think it is sufficient to just only talk about economic policy around reducing unemployment. It is an important marker, and I'm proud of the work that we've done thus far, but it should be a baseline there. Everybody's working. The point is, do people have an opportunity to build wealth? If that's what they choose to do, if that's what they want to do. And a lot of my perspective as we go forward is just that. I believe that there are a lot of opportunities that are available to the American people if we see people and understand what they want for themselves and their families, and then meet them where they are.
Wasn't the question that she was asked, why are some black voters supporting Trump?
Yeah, like what are you going to do?
More or less.
Well, but why would black? Did they specify men? Why?
Yeah, they
I'm
did
sure
say
they
men.
did.
They said
Why
men.
would black men support Donald Trump? And then her first response is that she doesn't look at black people like a monolith and she needs to work to earn their vote. I thought that's a pretty good precursor to a response. And to understand that black people aren't going to just hear you say a few things and be like, I don't know, why, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's what the guy in office right now said. She also talks about helping them build intergenerational wealth. There is nobody who wants to tax your ability to inherit your family's wealth more than the Democratic Party. They want to take it from you. They don't think that you should have the right to have it. But they want to take a small business loan from $5,000 to $50,000? Woo! I'm just waiting for someone from the Democrat Party to come out and say, I think black people want to be able to access the ability to pay their bills just like white people. I don't really know that is inherently a different thing, and maybe not delineate the black experience from the white experience completely. Maybe at this event, it's a little different. 2:00 hour, coming around the corner. Go vote in the YouTube poll. We'll be right back.
Attention Missouri Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly after every shift. It's all funded by Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers are paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The White House says don't blame them. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After former President Trump blamed rhetoric from Democrats, including the president and vice president, for fueling attacks on him.
The president and the vice president have always forcefully condemned violence in all forms.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre also answering a question on whether Trump's language is contributing to tension, saying it's important to bring down the temperature.
Bring that temperature down of that political violent rhetoric.
But she also says President Biden and Vice President Harris will continue to be forceful about the need to protect democracy. A White House official just confirming that Harris called Trump this afternoon to express she's grateful he's safe after an apparent second assassination attempt, described as a brief and cordial conversation a day after President Biden also spoke with Trump. Harris is now taking questions from a gathering of black journalists in Philadelphia.
We came in during the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. We came in during the worst public health epidemic in centuries.
Arguing much of that was from Trump mismanagement of the pandemic. Trump has argued much of what Harris claims as progress was an economy rebounding from the pandemic. Rapper Sean Diddy Combs just appearing in federal court and pleading not guilty after being indicted on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The judge also hearing arguments on bail. U.S. officials denying any involvement after exploding pagers in Lebanon and Syria injured thousands of people, killing at least 8. Hezbollah is blaming Israel.
We do want to see a diplomatic resolution to the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah.
But State Department spokesman Matthew Miller declining to comment directly on the pager explosions as they gather more information. America is listening to Fox News.
Did you know that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief for nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea? Of course you do, because everyone knows the Pepto song. But did you know that Pepto also comes in convenient and delightful solid forms?
Pepto has very fast melts, cherry chewables, liquid caps that make relief easy.
Pepto makes relief on the go easy. So when you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure. Now 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Nothing much going on with our weather as the atmosphere remains all locked up. We're kind of under a little high pressure system. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. 88 should do it for the high. Tonight, the full harvest moon rising with the setting sun. Clear skies 62. Wednesday, sunny and 88. Thursday and Friday, sunshine and temperatures near 90 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, Ruler Foods. I was just driving past Ruler Foods last night in Collinsville because my daughter got done with the volleyball game and she's like, can we have frozen pizza? Who asks for frozen pizza? It's like, you're nodding your head in affirmation, Ryan Wiggins. You understand?
No, I agree. Who asked for frozen pizza?
That was the goal. Won a good game last night, and we were like, okay, yeah, let's go. We were just a little bit too late to get into the Ruler Foods at Collinsville. They close at 9. But I'm going to swing by there because it is the chosen meal of the volleyball player, and it's the super easy thing to do. Right now, they've got Jack's Pizzas 2 for $7. And when I'm comparing that to driving through somewhere, oh my gosh, I'm going to Ruler Foods, stocking up on those Jack's Pizzas 2 for $7. They also have Kroger chicken wings right now, 22 ounces, $6.99. My husband loves to put those in the smoker, and they also have 16 to 33 ounce Kroger appetizers, 7.49 cents each. So if you're in the hurry and you're looking to get something made, a snacky type of a thing, they've got deals on that. And they also have amazing produce, amazing meat department, all the frozen foods you want, and all of the name brands that you love, and Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices. Save on your grocery bill. You will be so glad that you finally made it into a Ruler Foods. Find the one closest to you, rulerfoods.com.
Are you a business owner looking to grow and succeed? The St. Charles Regional Chamber is here to help. I'm Scott Tate, President and CEO. As the region's largest chamber with nearly 1,200 members, we offer networking, marketing resources, educational programs, and more to support your business. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or starting out, we have the right membership option for you. Explore our investor levels for exclusive benefits or try our free basic membership. For more information, visit stcharlesregionalchamber.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-699-1059. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-699-1059. That's 800-699-1059. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do. So great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about. That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
We had so much fun, but what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant, and we left no stone unturned. I approached every single person.
CBS, Adrienne Diaz, she went and was speaking to people in, here this is a big one, Nevada, and they could only find one person who would speak on supporting Harris. Why is that?
They were walking up to people. It wasn't they were just standing there hoping. They were walking up to people and asking them, who do you support? One.
Why would people, is there some sort of contingent of people who doesn't want to admit that they're supporting Kamala Harris?
Yes.
Who?
Americans in swing states. No, I have no idea. I mean, I would hope that, because that is a little surprising. I mean, you go to you think you go to somewhere like a restaurant, which is why CBS did it, and you would just find a nice cross-section
it's a bunch of rando people.
Average people and ask them, why do you support whoever? And tell me who you support and why. And they found one. I mean, it could be just totally random, but
there's no reason to not vocal. Like, culture shames you when you support Trump.
Right.
Culture doesn't, like, if you say you support Kamala Harris, what's the worst could happen? I'm starting to think people would be like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
The one
that's
thing,
a stupid move.
That it makes me wonder if there's enough internet videos out there of people being asked, oh, you support Kamala Harris? Tell me why. Because the follow-up is always, tell me why. Now, with CBS, you'd think it'd be pretty friendly territory. You'd be fine getting that question and going with whatever you wanted. But I wonder if there are enough people who know, you know what, I don't like Donald Trump, therefore I'm supporting Kamala Harris. Okay, that's fine. But they, in their heart of hearts, know that they can't really answer that question without trashing Donald Trump.
Right.
So if CBS comes up to you and says, oh, you like Kamala Harris. Why do you like Kamala Harris? Maybe they do go right into because I hate Donald Trump, but the question is still about Harris, though. Like, what is it about her?
I don't think that they're worried about. I think the people that vote for Kamala Harris because she's not Donald Trump, because they hate Donald Trump, feel like they're totally justified in that stance, and they would have no qualms about it to say it. They would be like, no, I don't like Donald Trump. Or the other thing that they would say is, hey, I think we should have a woman president, and it's her turn, and a bunch of empty platitudes, really, emotionally based. We want a woman president. That's an emotional stance.
It's a stupid stance. I mean, but why a woman president?
Yeah. Why not have, like if I were to have somebody that was going to be the first person named Brad to be the president ever.
Mm-hmm. Breaking glass ceilings.
Whatever those ceilings were made out of.
Brad's.
What I would, what I would want would be the best possible Brad out there. I want the one that's the smartest. I want him to be the best president that ever was the president.
What if there's a Ryan out there that's better than the best Brad?
Yeah, I think I'm going for the Ryan, but we know that's not going to happen.
Look, I'm just voting for Midwesterners. and when Tim Walz became the nominee, vice presidential nominee, I was like, ooh, but then again, there's a JD Vance out there who's also a Midwesterner. So
what is JD's real name?
Jonathan.
Are you making this crap up?
Yeah, I'm making it up. I was trying to come out with JTT somehow out of
Taylor
JD.
Thomas. Duh.
Yeah, but I couldn't do it.
I'm still a fan.
Me too.
JTT.
Poster on the wall.
You could say it with a speech impediment.
Why?
Modern poster on the wall.
Okay, so I want to play this clip of Charlie Kirk. He just goes places and does things and has real conversations. I mean, of course, it all gets turned into online content, but there's so much that is happening with Charlie Kirk with real people that is very, very impactful, I think, on the overall discussion. There's a guy who walks up to him. This is what happens. He goes to college campuses and he sits there and he talks to people and people challenge him and he has open conversations with him. And, I wonder, does he ever get totally schooled? Because he's not going to turn that into a video. But
but there's lots of other people recording. So you'd think.
So if it happens,
it would be out there.
If someone's like, "Oh, you totally own Charlie Kirk," like, why haven't we seen that yet? This guy walks up and he says that he is leaning liberal. Let's just listen in.
I'm leaning liberal on a lot of issues, and I'm kind of torn on the election.
I want to try to win you over as a liberal for
That's
Donald
Charlie.
Trump. So you're going to give me a chance, okay?
I will, sir.
All right, okay. There are 3 things I want you to think about when voting for Trump. Number 1, home ownership. I imagine you want to own a home sometime in your life, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, in order to own a home, you would have to make $125,000 a year right now just to be able to get the mortgage. When Trump was president, it was $75,000 a year. Because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have spent $6 to $7 trillion of unnecessary federal spending, which have inflated asset prices. The border. Under Donald Trump, the southern border was the most secure it was in American history, with border crossings at an all-time low. Under Kamala Harris, 10 million people have come across the southern border into this country. We have no idea who they are. They're coming into our communities. As a liberal, I imagine you don't like war, right? Under Donald Trump, it was the first president in 40 years where we had no new wars. Think about who is endorsing Kamala Harris. Dick Cheney, Leon Panetta, Liz Cheney. These are the warmongers of 20 years ago that got us into these wars. And this is why we're seeing Bobby Kennedy, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, people that are card-carrying Democrats vote for Trump, because what's happening at the Democrat Party is it's a party of censorship, it's a party of war, a party of open borders that is against actual traditional liberal values.
I agree.
So which way are you leaning?
Can I get a hat?
That's a good answer.
And the boy gets a MAGA hat from Charlie Kirk. It's on the "You're Being Brainwashed" tour. That's a image that is sitting up there behind Charlie Kirk. And those are 3 fantastic points. When you really do look at the Republican Party of today, it really very much so reflects the classic liberal party of days gone by. And good grief, when I see people talking about this election coming up and making it be like about gay rights and your ability to be married to your spouse, like the only time I ever hear that as a topic of conversation is from somebody who is incredibly uninformed and really, really hates Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Like I ask, have you been brainwashed to think that? Do you intellectually know exactly what you're saying, but you're trying to spook people who aren't paying attention? It's like not on the table anywhere at all. Nobody's talking about it. The only LGBTQ issue that's really being discussed as a part of this election is whether or not we should be medically permanently changing the bodies of children. And I, for one, have seen a lot of people in the LGB, maybe add the T, I don't know, I can't speak for them, community saying, don't do this to kids. Like,
Yeah.
what you do when you're an adult, okay, but do not do this to kids. Like, I feel like if an adult female can go out and get a breast enhancement of great proportions. We all are going, that's a little bit of a ridiculous idea. Think you went a little overboard. But you're not like fighting for taking away her right to do that. You can have your thoughts and opinions still, for now at least, in America, but that person's an adult and they can do that. Mm-hmm. If you want to medically alter your body, if you want to tattoo yourself from head to toe, if you want to pierce yourself from head to toe as an adult, I am not required to think it's a good idea, that it's attractive, that it's the right thing to do. And you are also not required to care at all what I think about it.
Right. And you're not entitled to force me to care.
Exactly. However, when it comes to children, there has to be an understanding that you have to protect children from abuse. And this is a complicated discussion to talk about because people, I am hugely an advocate against that phrase of our children. Like, do not come at me and tell me how to raise my children. But there are things that should I do those things to my children that the authorities would get involved. Would the authorities get involved if I said that if I convinced my child that they wanted to be pierced from head to toe, that they wanted to be tattooed from head to toe? Would the authorities get involved at all if I was doing that to my child? I don't know. I would think there'd be questions. I think there'd be a knock on my door.
Oh, for sure. I think that I think you would have mandatory reporters, teachers and doctors and whatnot reporting you to DHS or
DCFS.
DCFS.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there are things that we societally, when you have a pretty collective understanding of what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad, you look out for one another, and you've got a society that is too afraid to stand up and say, this is just wrong. If they become an adult and they want to do whatever they want to do to their body and they're not hurting anyone else, you can look at it as sad, you can look at it as unfortunate, but you're not going to stop those people from doing that to their own bodies. And before anyone comes at me about like choice and stuff like that, there's a difference between your body and somebody else's body. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, the Republicans are the party of that libertarian value in as much as you possibly can be. Any issue, Republicans are going to say, you go do whatever you want until it affects me or somebody else, and that's where your rights end. The old, you can go around punching all you want. Mm-hmm. Your right to punch stops at my nose.
Yeah.
Like, that is a libertarian argument, and it applies to almost everything you can think of, except in the areas of children, where Republicans say we have a responsibility to protect people who don't have the full rights of an adult yet. And in the case of cannabis, you find that there's a little bit of a murky, there are actually a lot of Republicans on the libertarian side of that. There are a lot of Democrats on the libertarian side of that. But that's a murky issue in the sense that the smoke, is that affecting you? Is that affecting me? That's where that argument kind of lives, that you have the right to go do that, especially now you do, more than ever. But is what you're doing affecting other people? That's where people are going, I don't know yet. It hasn't been enough time yet for us to see how that affects other people yet.
Oh, we got a commenter here. It says sex change surgery on children is rare.
It should be non-existent.
I wonder what the percentage of sex change surgery on children, I wonder when it becomes outside of this commenter's concern for being rare. Because, of all the children in the country, what percentage of them are getting sex changes? Of all the children in the country, what percentage of them are becoming school shooters? Because if you were to say, it's incredibly rare for a child to engage in a school shooting. Is one too many? Because it is, obviously. What an ignorant comment.
Well, the other side of that is, too, that's a very carefully chosen phraseology.
Yes,
sex change in children.
Yeah.
Sex change surgeries. What about chemical treatment?
Castration.
We're going to talk about, like, what do they call them? Puberty blockers or whatever. You are going to create permanent issues for those children by even, quote unquote, putting their puberty on pause with chemicals.
Yeah. I'd like to ask that commenter to tell us how many sex change surgeries on children are you okay with? And would you encourage that society accepts? How many children should be able to be medically altered for the rest of their life, not be able to procreate because they decided they wanted something at a very young age? Because we do this at an incredibly young age. Wendy comments, Dems used to say that abortion was rare too. Good point. It aggravates me to no end because it's an obvious thing. It is an obvious thing to say. And Joe Rogan said this very well on his podcast. I don't remember who he was talking to when he was interviewing him, but he was articulating that if your child was, I'm going to use their language, assigned male at birth and has decided that they are female, if they've made that decision, if they are female, why do you have to medically change who they are in order to affirm the fact that they are female? If they are assigned male at birth, their terminology, if they're assigned male at birth and they grow up and they're 8 years old and they know that they're female, why do you have to go through all of these life-changing, permanent changes to their body if they know they're female and they want to wear a dress or they want to wear pink or they want to play with a doll or whatever these air quote female things are? Why would you have to change their bodies for the rest of their life at 8 to affirm that they're female if they already know it? It's a fairly good point. If you ask me.
Yeah, and also, well, my body doesn't match my feelings. My feelings are female. What does that mean? And also, do you as a child have the capability of making that choice for yourself for the rest of your life based on something that we don't even know what you're talking about?
Conceptually, you can't even process that sort of thought. Like your brain isn't developed to that point anymore. And here's one other thing. You're talking about a matter of perspective. Ryan, you and I are both men. We both identify as men.
You more than me.
Maybe.
That's
you said
true.
it, not me.
Can confirm.
I will take that win. But we can't know how each other feels, and do we have the same feelings, emotions, or whatever? How can you even say, well, I don't feel like a man? Because your only experience is whatever it is you've been feeling.
Yeah, how do you... That's a tough argument for an adult to make, let alone a kid. To say, well, I feel like a woman or I feel like a man. Well, what does that mean? There's no objectivity. It means do whatever you want. Just don't affect children when they...
Permanently.
Yes.
When they don't know. You know, everybody was a kid. Everybody knows you go through these hard things. I got a skater cut. That was my rebellion. Don't change your genitals.
It wasn't permanent.
Yes.
I just think it's so important to understand that the line that many on the right and honestly many on the left are not willing to cross is the permanent transformation of a child. It's not, there are lots of conversations that can be had about any affirmative behavior, but we live in a society, a free society where, culture is going to tug of war back and forth on these issues. And how much should one ideology infiltrate the lives lived by other people? I think what we're just saying is, I think where it becomes a greater societal issue is when children are being permanently altered. Outside of that, ideology, freedoms, and all of that type of stuff, that's up for discussion and, people who can have the conversations about what they think is right, what they think is wrong. But your ability to go in and tell someone else how to live their life and their ability to come tell me or how to parent my children or how to live our lives. I think that the key here is that you just draw the line when it comes to the permanent medical alteration of a child's body. I don't know why that's difficult. And I don't know why if you think that it's just happening to a few people, how that would, it's quite a statement. It's quite an admission, if you ask me. The YouTube live chat poll for today got votes coming in about Ryan Routh, the second attempted shooter of President Donald Trump. Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, you're going to call him a conspirator. Annie Fry YouTube channel. Just type in Annie Fry on YouTube. You'll see we're broadcasting live there. And in the live chat portion of that broadcast, you will see the poll. It will pop up there. Encourage you to vote and leave a comment if you so choose. Let's have a little fun when we come back here on the Annie Fry Show. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
To find that I could not pay. Said what right, you'll soon be home.
Stewart's American Mortgage. Bagel loan. You've heard me talking about the bagel loan. This is such an obvious move right now. Oh my gosh, the Fed's going to meet tomorrow. I can't tell you what's going to happen with the Fed, but I think we all have an idea of which way those rates are going to go. Make sure that you get on Stewie's phone right now. This is his direct line, 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan for more information as well. And talk to him about your mortgage refinance, about your new home purchase. Make sure that you get your mortgage and that low rate from Stewie, because when you qualify for the bagel loan, you pay zero in closing costs. If you're buying a new home, this could save you thousands of dollars. If you're refinancing your home from the high highs of not too long ago, you are going to get to save tons of money in interest over the course of those monthly payments to your mortgage. Stewie's your guy. I've done it twice myself. I speak from experience as a customer of the bagel loan. No closing costs, and Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
I'm John Oran, Puck's sports correspondent, and I have a new podcast called The Varsity, where I will take you inside the executive suites and owners' boxes that run the entire sports business. Twice a week, I will bring on the smartest people I know to break down the hottest topics in sports media and give you a window into the inside conversations that are happening throughout sports media. So be sure to follow and listen to The Varsity Podcast, available now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you know you can unlock the equity from your current home and stay in it while you find your next home or while your new home's being built? Mark Cox here for my friend Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis real estate expert. She can do that for you. Here's a problem many home sellers find themselves in. I want to sell my home, but where will I move? Plus, I need the funds for my current home to go purchase our next home. Gloria understands this. That's why she created her Sell and Stay program, which allows you to sell your home, get the cash, and stay in the home for up to 12 months. I love Gloria Liu because she thinks of every dilemma a home seller could go through and provides a guaranteed solution. If you need the cash from your current home to buy your next home, here's my recommendation. Call the only agent I trust, Gloria Liu, and ask her about her Sell and Stay program, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
This weekend, September 20th, 21st, and 22nd, it's the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show at the Arnold Eagles Hall in Arnold, Missouri. Browse tables of firearms, ammo, knives, books, and military items. Buy, sell, or trade. Admission's only $10, kids under 12 free with a paid adult, and parking is free. Don't miss the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show this weekend at the Arnold Eagles on 1725 Jeffco Boulevard. For complete information, visit MissouriArms.com. The Missouri Arms Collectors Association is a not-for-profit NRA-affiliated club.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Is yours? Did you know that there's an R value associated with insulation? To find out your R value or for a free insulation estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
nobody's hometown. There's a reason not to stay. Beat your spirit right down. Dreamers need to get away. I remember when you said don't hate me. One day I'm getting out of here. Even if it drives me crazy, just know I'll wait for you.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I think we've done okay so far. A few bumps in the road here.
Yeah, a few here and there.
Mostly Ryan.
Yeah, I blame him.
I think you guys have done like 95% well.
That's an A.
Yeah.
What about you?
Like 85.
I don't feel emotionally supported by my Midwesterner.
That's on a curve.
Yeah, I think it's because I just feel cramped over here and I don't look great on camera. If I looked great on camera, 95.
Why don't you think you look great on camera?
It's just from a weird angle. My beard looks extra gray.
No, that's right.
Oh, that's my actual beard?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ryan.
See, you guys must do a filter in the other
Just call that wisdom.
Okay.
Embrace it.
All
A lot of women think it's called money.
Then I got 100 today.
Even better.
It doesn't mean it is. YouTube live chat poll for today. Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? That's the shooter in Palm Beach. Do you think he was acting on his own? Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he was a conspirator. I'm going to peek at the results here. Right. Whoa. Get in there and vote, folks. We'll give those results in 24 minutes from now-ish. Depends on the clock you look at.
Yeah, no kidding.
If you tune in 25 minutes, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah, you're going to be so late. So get in there and vote. Annie Fry YouTube channel. Also, a reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app anywhere you go. AUDACY. You download that app and find 97.1 FM Talk, and you can take us with you, crystal clear, wherever you go in the whole world. We're happy to come along with you like a stalker. Speaking of, Ryan, you have a story?
This is a big breath.
You're really good at that.
Which part?
Because it doesn't give me a chance to respond. I'm just supposed to go right into the story, which I'm going to do.
But that's not what you did.
No,
so you do have choices here.
No, there is no choice. So
you could have spent that time doing other things.
We all know that I am against wasting time. So I'm going to go right into this story. It is about things that you can buy the off-brand of that are just as good as buying the brand name. And I want to see if you agree.
Are these things?
Wiggins story.
Do you use any of these things?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're off to a good start.
We're going to start with toilet paper.
Okay.
I do use that. And this says...
The off-brand or just toilet paper?
I don't think
actually,
you can...
the off-brand. Yeah, I will endorse using the off-brand of toilet paper because while I do understand why people buy the nice stuff, I don't think you need it. And that's what the article is saying, too.
Says the dude.
Yeah. Now, is that a guy thing?
Yeah, I think it's a completely different experience for us, yes. I can't confirm that because I've never been a girl, but I would think that it would be.
Care to comment?
I can't believe we're having this conversation on the air. KMOX is right out there.
I know. It feels much more
Very legacy professional organization.
Wonder where we're going to have to broadcast from tomorrow.
Probably the unemployment office.
How about coffee pods?
What is... They're saying you can buy
They're saying don't worry about coffee pods. You can get them. Then they're all going to be about the same.
Toilet paper. Are we going to get told that off-brand to buy?
No. I mean, they're suggesting...
They're saying that you can buy any off-brand toilet paper?
Ooh, I think that's fake news.
I
think that's fake news.
No, you guys know because you've been to Disney World with me.
Yes.
That we will get our own toilet paper.
Well, let's just establish that one ply is not acceptable.
But that's what a lot of off-brand cheap stuff will be.
Yes, it is.
So you can't just do that.
But there's a gradient.
You've got to use... What?
The TP gradient is that you can buy the really expensive stuff, or you can buy the kind of expensive stuff. You can go right down the middle. You can get the one ply that is
supposed to go right down the middle. That's exactly how it works.
You can get the worst possible, or you can get the stuff that's like just a step up. It's still 2-ply. That's where I live right there. Is I still want 2-ply because you're just going to end up folding the 1-ply
Which one
up.
of your wives should I ask?
The
if
main
you were
one.
doing an
The main one.
Which one is that?
The in-town one.
Yeah. Okay.
Ask that one.
No. If you buy, it's the same thing with paper towels, and if this list says paper towels, then it's trash.
It does not say paper towels.
If you buy lame paper towels, you use twice as much.
Yeah.
And maybe save 25%. That's not a win.
Mm-mm.
No. I will be a diva about my toilet paper.
Coffee pods.
Don't buy them.
Do you have a Keurig?
No.
We're getting one here at work, apparently.
We've got one here at work.
Oh, do we
It's
now?
already installed.
I haven't used it yet, but it says that the coffee pods that you're buying, I don't use these, so I don't know as much. But that you can get the cheap ones. I don't know.
This is my coffee pot. I
Scooters.
go to Scooters every day.
Scooters. I like Scooters. I guess that's probably why I don't use coffee pods.
Are you saying pots or pods?
Pods.
Okay.
Aren't they supposed to be like the worst thing that's ever happened to the environment?
I have no
The
idea why.
inventor of them has regretted
because of all
making
the
them.
little
Because
plastic
the
pods.
massive amount of waste that it has created.
Really?
Versus just taking
Yeah.
a scoop out of a container and putting it in your coffee pot.
Well, I know how to fix that. You just charge people 10 cents for a bag.
I don't think that helps. I don't think that's related.
Oh, you're using a plastic bag? 10 cents. Look, we just saved the environment. Thank me later, turtles.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. They're going back to the first story.
All right. Next one is disinfectant wipes. It says it doesn't matter whether you buy the brand name or the off-brand. They're just about all the same.
I might buy that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like we're talking like a Clorox wipe.
Yeah, the only difference I could see would be like the quality, like does it tear apart real easy?
Do you remember life before Clorox wipes?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
They're super handy.
Yeah, life before Clorox wipes and life before hand sanitizer in little pods that your mom can put in her purse.
Your mom.
Your mom? This sounds like you
Well,
don't
where do I-
remember.
yeah, I don't
life before
carry this
that.
around. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, think about
Well,
that.
it
though.
sounded weird if I would have said wife.
No.
No, it would have
it's
sounded weird
normal.
if you said your purse. That's
Yeah.
the only weird that you have here. It was weirder that you, a 41-year-old man, was
Yeah.
like that. Your
You just have a little hand sanitizer in the little carrying
Mom,
cases in
is
your.
there a mom here?
in your
My hands
man
are
bag.
dirty. I need a mom. But I mean, to think about like simple conveniences that have developed in our lifetime that we are old enough to be like, nobody thought baby wipes. People have been using baby wipes for however long, but to put like bleach in them or whatever the cleaner is and to use them to clean surfaces, is that better than? What do you prefer? Okay, first of all, do either of you clean? Honest question.
Yeah, a little bit.
I organize more than I clean. You know, if there's a lot of
No, I don't
stuff,
know.
I
I'll kinda
usually
put
do
that-
dusting and vacuuming if I do anything.
Does that mean tidying?
Yes.
You tidy?
I don't clean the surfaces of the counters.
I consider there to be a difference between who tidies and who cleans. I love cleaning. I despise tidying.
Yeah, I like tidying. And I hate
Come
cleaning.
over to my house. I've got stuff for you to do.
Why don't you come over to my house instead?
I don't want to. That's why. But you said you will clean.
I will clean. Usually, whenever I get really invested in cleaning, I'll clean out my truck or my wife's car or something like that with the vacuum
What about
and
your
the
mom's
wipes.
car?
If she asks me to, I'll do it.
That's so sweet.
She has hand sanitizer.
Yes,
You wouldn't
in
even
her
need
purse.
gloves.
Yeah, it just when I'm done, she gives me a little dab and I'm good.
Little dab will do you. All right, how about baby goods?
Generic?
Yeah, there's no real particular thing here, but they do mention diapers.
We
But
have a diaper drive coming up
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's next Wednesday,
next Wednesday
the 25th.
at the Ruler Foods in St. Charles.
St. Charles,
on
yeah.
West Clay Street.
Yes.
We'll be broadcasting out there.
Yeah,
and
we're-
then is Princess Storm broadcasting
Yeah, and then
afterwards?
she'll broadcast right after us.
So we need a big showing.
Yeah.
We need a lot of diapers. It's so West Clay Street next Wednesday, so a week from tomorrow. Please, please, please come out and get diapers. It doesn't matter what brand you bring. Our family's always purchased Loves. I have gotten diapers from I don't know how many people know this, but Pampers diapers are the same company,
Okay.
Procter and Gamble. Loves and Pampers are basically the same, but I'm not opposed to an off-brand diaper, but the consequence, like what happens when you find out that it is not good, is too big of a risk. Once you find one that works, you just stick with it because either you're having leaks or blowouts, or the worst of the worst is like rash where it's hurting your
no.
baby's bottom. And it's just like, if you got something that works, you don't depart. Is that your experience of that? Ryan?
yeah, you had to find the ones that worked.
Which ones do you use?
For myself now? It depends. But yeah, you had to find the right ones because especially when we had twins, we were like, uh-oh, this isn't working for one. It's probably not going to work for the other.
Yeah.
Someone go stop this right now because it was double the P.
What does it tell you that you can use generic for babies?
I think it's talking more about it does mention diapers specifically, saying that you can expect to pay 30 cents more per diaper for well-known packages versus the generic ones. But I think it's just generally saying that you could get away with doing baby food, that baby goods, like the changing table and the other stuff, that you don't have to get the high-end stuff because you're going to go through it so quickly.
Well, all that stuff I always bought secondhand.
Yeah,
yard
me too.
sales and clothes at yard sales. For sure.
Tell you what, we had a nice big shower when we had twins because everybody knew you're going to need a lot of stuff. So we had a lot of stuff.
Last one.
Medications and supplements.
I buy generic Excedrin and ibuprofen and Tylenol all the time.
Even my my prescription meds that I have to take, we get generic if it's available. That
significantly cheaper.
Yes, and none of them. I have never had an experience with any of my prescription medications where I need to get the name brand. I know for some people they do, but I have not had that experience.
As long as it has the same active ingredient, I'm always about the generic, whichever one's cheaper. The only one I've heard, and I've had multiple doctors say this about vitamins, say no, you want to get better vitamins because if you don't, you get the cheap stuff. It's just going to go right through you. It's like, why'd you even take it? Never really confirmed that or not, but I have heard that a couple times about vitamins.
Well, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, there is another huge story mounting here, maybe earth-changing. I'll give you that headline and details when we come back. Don't go away. Vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Let us know if you think Ryan Routh acted on his own accord or if he's a conspirator. Anti-Fry YouTube channel. Stream us on the Odyssey app. We'll be right back. I want to talk to you about Lutheran education. This is something that is so near and dear to my heart. I am so passionate about this. I have been trying to get the Lutheran Elementary School Association to partner with me since 2016 when I first started doing Saturdays because I'm so passionate about this. I've talked to you about Lutheran education quite a bit. The website to go there and learn all the things I'm talking, but like much more detail and your location and all of that. 37 elementary schools in the St. Louis area. That includes Missouri and Illinois. And I can speak highly for all of them. LESASTL.org, LESASTL.org/Annie, LisaSTL.org/Annie. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to check it out. Go to the website for your child, for your grandchild. You can still enroll them in a school today in the middle of September. If you are looking for an alternative to public education, I want you to consider what Lutheran schools can do for you. You don't have to be Lutheran. LisaSTL.org/Annie. And here's the other thing. If you go find me on Facebook, The Annie Fry Show on Facebook, and you have a question about a Lutheran school that's closest to you, my experience of going to Lutheran schools, of sending my kids to Lutheran schools, get on The Annie Fry Show Facebook and send me a private message and I'll have a conversation directly with you about my experience and how you can be helped in any possible way. Lisa, LESASTL.org/Annie.
Hanson with Hanson's Tree Service and Environmental Resources. At Hanson's, we manufacture a full line of garden and landscape products that are perfect for your outdoor project. Pick up any of our products at World Outdoor Emporium, Kirkwood Materials, or a Hanson's location near you.
Do you have $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 in debt? Then listen to this. You may not be required to pay it all back.
I was drowning in debt.
I had over $36,000 in debt.
If I would have just made the minimum payments, it would have taken me 59 years to pay off.
Whether it's credit card, medical, or personal loan debt, National Debt Relief can help significantly reduce what you owe. In fact, debt relief payments can be 50% less than your monthly credit card payments. That's right, half as much as you're paying now.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by over $27,000.
With National Debt Relief, you have a powerful team that knows how to talk to your creditors.
National Debt Relief, they got me out of debt.
More than 550,000 Americans have used National Debt Relief to reduce their debt. Call 800-649-6464 to see if you qualify to settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. 800-649-6464. That's 800-649-6464.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, virus can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Today's YouTube live chat poll of the day: did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? Yes, he was a lone wolf, or no, he was part of a conspiracy. He was a conspirator. Those are your options. And from Annie's reaction looking at the results, I think we have something brewing here. So you want to be a part of this. You got about 10 minutes left before we give you the results. You type in Annie Fry on YouTube and the poll will come up. You can participate by doing that. It is 2:46. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon getting set here on a Tuesday afternoon. Some pretty disturbing information from a whistleblower on the Secret Service, the updated information on the second assassination attempt, and then a pretty good discussion on grocery rationing in this country and whether it's possible. It's all coming up after Fox News at 3. Hang in there.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Wandering around this midnight madhouse city, you got a look that says you got it all together. So if you don't mind, I'd like to know you better. Take me the long way around your town. Were you the queen with the silver crown? I want the secrets you keep, the shine underneath of the diamond.
Welcome back. I have really bad news. Have you seen the headline, the news alert that's come across here lately? Have you?
No.
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, also known as NASA, is monitoring a massive asteroid that is expected to come close to Earth on Tuesday night.
That's tonight.
The rocky object, which has been named 2024 ON, or on, I don't know, has a diameter of 950 feet according to NASA's Asteroid Watch dashboard. NASA has deemed the asteroid, quote, stadium-sized, and reported it would be 621,000 miles from Earth on Tuesday night, which is considered relatively close. Although the asteroid will be close enough to Earth to be deemed a potentially hazard object, it is, and I'm reading directly from Fox News here, unlikely.
Oh my gosh.
That Earth will be impacted.
It'll be fine. Elon Musk is working on something right now. I'm sure of it.
Earth's bigger. We'll just punch it. We'll survive.
Are you 4? This is a 4-year-old response.
I mean, yeah, it'll hit us.
Can't we just punch it? The asteroid is one of 5 that will pass by Earth over the next 2 days, but the other rocky objects will not come nearly as close as this one. The 4 asteroids will be between 1.1 and 3.9 million feet away from Earth. And 3 of the asteroids measure roughly 51 feet in diameter, which is the size of a house.
I'm just glad they're using feet, not stupid metric.
This is America.
Yeah.
Bro.
Fox News, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, everything in space is measured by we've been to the moon.
What does that mean?
It means that there's only one country that's been to the moon.
Maybe.
Darn right.
Are you one of those?
I'm just saying they exist. I want everybody to feel welcome here.
And journeys to the moon.
The YouTube live chat poll: did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? Yes, he's a lone wolf, or no, he's a conspirator. Your answer to this, Brad?
I said yes.
He's a lone wolf?
No. I'm sorry. No.
Reverse.
He's a conspirator. He's one of a group because I just don't know how.
What kind of conspiracy in your mind? What are the possibilities of conspiracy that are brewing?
Well, I'm not in the mindset of an inside job. I don't think the Secret Service necessarily tipped. I mean, I thought it was a fun theory that the Secret Service tipped him off so they could stop him so that they could look good. But I think that there is a cabal of people out there who would like to see Donald Trump dead, and they're powerful people, and they will identify people who are not mentally stable. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to see his social media profile or what was allegedly his social media profile before they blocked it off. This dude was not normal. He wasn't right. He was off. And people that are off center are easily able to be knocked into doing stupid things. And I think that he was a conspirator, but a pawn in that conspiracy.
So you're a no, he's a conspirator. He did not act alone.
Yeah. Correct.
Ryan?
I am yes, lone wolf. At this point, and I could be persuaded otherwise. I think the questions about how did he know Trump was playing.
It's more risky to say that he's a conspirator.
Yeah, it is.
It is, which I guess makes Brad very brave. But I am not going to take the brave route until I see some evidence.
Not going to take the brave route.
I could be persuaded.
Keep it in a box
tomorrow. You know, I could by the answer of one or two more questions. Here's what I really like that DeSantis is doing. He's trying to keep that case local at the state level because people are saying that he's afraid, and I don't know if this is his motivation, but that he's afraid that once it gets to the federal level, it's just going to get buried. And I love that he is saying, no, why don't you let us try him with murder because we have the ability to do that here in Florida. And he's saying the federal government does not have the ability to do that, and that they can do it, and that they can keep the case right there at the state level. I would love to see that.
A murder or attempted murder?
Attempted murder.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why, but Annie was just recording me with her phone.
This has been my view. I'll show it to you on camera. The whole day. I'm looking at Ryan. He's got this hat on. And I can't even see the bottom of his nose.
It's like
I
Wilson.
just see this slit of eyes staring back at me. And it's hard not to take this guy seriously.
Yeah. It's like the radio version of Wilson.
But when you can just see my eyes, you can see the passion and the ferocity.
You look like you have to go to the bathroom.
What I have to say. Do I really?
Yeah, like you're using the wrong toilet paper.
What? Oh, no.
Yeah, like the cheap stuff.
I didn't know that my eyes said that all the time.
Are things starting to make more sense in your
a lot
life?
Of shame
things
in
are
those
starting to flow.
Okay, so we're in this new studio, and we're in a new studio for the hope is that we'll be in our spruced up studio on Friday. And when I say spruced up, it's like tech stuff. They're not putting like a Ferris wheel in there yet, but we're asking. So we're much closer to each other than we traditionally are.
You okay with that? Hanging in there?
The show's almost over. We made it this far, but there are things that we do during a show. If you watch the show on our YouTube channel, you'll see us do this sometimes, but like I'm waving things off and Brad is giving me signals and I'm pointing at him and he's pointing at me and I'm telling him to turn my computer off so I can load. There's just a lot going on and it looks like we're trying to land a plane on a regular basis. Ryan and I don't have to speak to each other in hand motions very often. But no. I'm pretty sure we're batting 1,000 for every hand motion I've given Ryan today that he's done the exact opposite of what I was trying to communicate to him.
There needs to be a key up on the wall.
We're going to have to, like the stick figure.
Look, there's one time in particular. If you're watching this,
hand,
do it.
Hand over hand.
Annie was going like this.
We're having tech issues. So there are I can't just be
doing throw to me.
A talking show. Brad's trying to keep the ship afloat. And Ryan?
I'm listening.
Yeah, I know.
To you. I'm sometimes not seeing you, but she's going like this, which is like a signal that could mean two things.
What?
Wrap up or keep going.
No, that's
it can only mean one thing.
The problem is that they're the exact opposite things.
All right, here's what I want you to do. You're listening to the radio right now. I need you to do this with your hand. Take your right hand and put it as if you remember, was it Evie from not Small Wonder? What was the other one? Where she put her fingers together to stop time?
Oh, Vicky.
No.
Yeah. Oh, Evie is
the one who does the fingers.
Out of this world.
Out of this world.
Yeah.
Okay. So Evie, she'd put her fingers together So that's the way you have your hand. Then move it forward in a rolling motion, which means keep going.
Now cockeye it a little bit. And now put your hand straight in the air and go like this, and like you're making a tornado motion.
Yes, that means
wrap up.
That's universal radio.
What if it was kind of cockeyed, like you were doing a halfway
it has
like
been
this?
Wrap up my whole career.
Maybe your head was cockeyed and you saw it wrong.
I don't think so.
I was
think
telling you to go like this.
You were like this with one. I can only see one hand. Keep in mind.
It doesn't matter.
So if you're going like this,
it means the same thing.
That could be a lazy wrap up.
Anyway,
instead of that,
I needed Ryan to keep talking. And as soon as I did that, he just stopped. He was done.
Mid-word.
So by the end of these 3 days in this extra side studio that we're in, we're gonna get the sign language down. Or at least we're gonna try. And if we don't, I think Ryan is being deliberate. That's my theory.
YouTube live chat poll.
Did Ryan Routh act on his own accord? We have 324 votes today. So thank you everybody who came out and voted. Over 300 votes is fantastic. Calling him a conspirator, saying that Ryan Routh is involved in something bigger than just himself, 72% said they think he's a conspirator. 28% agree with Ryan that he is a lone wolf. And I think a lot of that 28% is probably also sitting, waiting for more information before they're willing to fully commit to the other category. But I gotta say, I think I might be in the conspirator account as well. Thank you for listening. Stick around. Mark Reardon taking over here on St. Louis's home for Conservative Talk, 97.1 FM Talk.
Hi, Charles Payne here at one of the exciting Money Show events where I'm presenting the keynote, broadcasting my live TV show, and best of all, giving away free copies of my newest book, Unbreakable Investor. It's a $29.95 value, but if you act now, I'll give you one too.
For your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor, text CASH to 505-505 and just cover shipping. Text CASH to 505-505. Text CASH to 505-505.
I'm handing you my investing playbook, 348 pages on how I personally invest to target the biggest returns while mitigating risk. It's how I've been with the market so I never break. Guidance so crucial for today's investor that I'm covering the cost of the book and giving you a copy for free.
To get your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor,